I think we were able to somewhat run it off without a hitch. So it is what it is. Did I get a freeze here? There we go. All right. So what up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. I think I'm going to refer to this as a slow news day. Um, the oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela that's been seized by the United States as of yesterday, last evening. I don't know if that is as big. I don't know if it's as much as it's being made out to be. I don't favor America seizing anybody's shit. I don't favor us doing it, but it doesn't. There's a few defenses, for lack of a better term. Let me put my charger in here. There is a few defenses for the Trump administration where this one does not look as bad as some of the things he gets criticized for. Turns out there was a warrant for this oil tanker. The belief is that they're taking oil or taking resources from Venezuela, shipping them to Iran, and Iran is using the resources to finance terrorism. Is it true? I don't know. But if there's a signed warrant from a judge for this cargo ship or this oil tanker, and under the Trump administration, we simply took the tanker into custody. So there is plausible defense for President Trump on this. Now, understand it is President Trump. So anything Trump does is going to be met with an ample amount of scrutiny. I get it. There's a lot of people that don't like Trump. So anything he does is going to get criticized. Sometimes it's legitimate criticism, but he's going to get criticized no matter what he does. So I'm going to simply say the oil tanker, jury's still out on it. The jury's still now. Apparently, this oil tanker was flying the flag of Guyana, I believe, and this was a false flag, and there's a whole bunch of other things too. But like I said, with a warrant out for it. Here's the problem, though. Why is America doing all this shit on their own? If Venezuela is indeed putting all sorts of dangerous narcotics into the world by way of fentanyl, 100% of their shipments are not going to America. Why are we doing all this stuff alone? If the Venezuelans are funding Iranian terrorism, why are we not doing, this would have a lot more weight, a lot more, I want to say, it would have higher approval ratings if we did this as a coalition. We got the UN involved or something like that. But when it's just happening from President Trump, it looks like America once again is interested in regime change or some kind of colonization, some kind of ridiculous shit where we're going to take over Venezuela, put in an American-friendly leader, and fuck over the Venezuelan people. Now, I get many on the right are suggesting that Maduro, the leader in Venezuela, needs to go, and the United States is going to get rid of him. People, the MAGA side of the aisle is saying that even the Venezuelan people want the United States to get rid of Maduro. That's a tough pill to swallow. Now, you can always find a few people in any country to say anything. I mean, there were African Americans that fought on behalf of the Confederates during the Civil War. You can always find somebody fighting against their best interests. But here's the problem. When you look at how the Trump administration is treating Venezuelans in America, why would the nation of Venezuela think that the Trump administration is going to get rid of Maduro and help them out? That doesn't make any sense. You're not even treating our people right that are in your country, but yet you're going to come here, get rid of, even if they don't want Maduro in power. I'm not saying that Maduro should stay. I'm not saying that he should go. I am simply suggesting that the United States is probably not the ideal country to help out the Venezuelans. We do not come across as being we don't come across as operating in the best interest for that country. Simply put, how we're treating Venezuelan refugees that are here should tell you everything. I mean, President Trump is on record saying that these folks are poisoning the blood of this country and calling them vermin. So now he goes down to Venezuela and somehow they think you're here to help us out. That does not make sense. So I'm going to leave it at that. But I want to ask you folks on a simple standpoint, from your own personal situation. Are you satisfied with the president? Are you personally satisfied with the direction that President Trump is leading this great nation in? I mean, we can talk about maybe different things you may like, may not like, but overall, are you somewhat satisfied with President Trump? Are you happy that perhaps Kamala Harris is not there and President Trump is? Are you somewhat, at least somewhat satisfied with President Trump as our commander in chief? Now, also, I want to talk about a couple other things. This is something that just broke. This is literally breaking news. You may have heard of it, you may have not, because this just broke not long ago. This is coming out of Indiana.
A new congressional map after President Trump pushed for it publicly, threatened to campaign against anyone who didn't support his effort for this new map, after Vice President J.D. Vance went to Indianapolis himself to make the case in person. Why does all of this matter? We are seeing a tit for tat race for redistricting in states all across the country. Of course, it started in Texas. That was the biggest battle where Republicans were successful in their effort to be able to redraw that state's map. They have won. The Supreme Court just handing them a victory. They could add up to 5 additional Republican seats. That prompting a counterpoint from California. California's Governor Gavin Newsom, of course, someone.
So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you see what happened here. The bid to turn Indiana 100% red failed. And you know what? Failed. Republicans in that state stood up, pushed aside the wishes of President Trump and said, we're not going to do this. It didn't fail due to the courts. It didn't fail due to anything other than, because they have a super majority in Indiana. Their state government, they have a super majority. So they could have done this, but the state government, the Senate in Indiana decided, we're not going to cheat like this. And the redistricting in Indiana has failed. It actually has failed. Wow. And of course, President Trump, as King Mo is pointing out, President Trump has began to threaten Republicans in the state of Indiana. Here's something I don't understand. Listen, I get that you may favor how Trump is running the country, whether it's protecting the border, protecting the integrity of women's sports, maybe how he handles foreign affairs. I get that folks may favor how Trump is handling the country and what he's doing. Here's what I don't understand. How many of his own people does he need to throw under the bus before folks start to realize this could be me too? You see what happened going all the way back to Mike Pence and many members of his first administration. Obviously, now we're seeing what's happening with Marjorie Taylor Greene and all. Like, how many of these people got to pay the price before some of the others realize that it doesn't matter how long you ride with him. If one thing goes awry, he's going to throw you under the bus. So now he's threatening the Senate and the politicians in Indiana for not agreeing with him to redistrict the votes in Indiana, which is cheating. There's no denying. If you're actually redistricting votes, so you know ahead of time which way the outcome of an election is going to go, how is that not cheating? How is it not, if what he did down in Texas, for instance, find me, where he's going to basically gerrymander to get 5 more seats. So that means once you do that, the folks in that district, they already know the outcome is going to be Republican. It doesn't matter what you vote. They've already done it in a way that this whole district is going to go Republican. How is that not cheating? You don't even need to know what the people are going to vote for. You already know ahead of time it's going to go red. How is that not cheating? Now, President Trump has stated he is for free and fair elections. How is this stuff amounting to free and fair elections? Somebody, please let me know that. But anyway, that's what we're asking. How are you feeling about Trump so far? And I do want to This is something else that came from President Trump, which, once again, over the last 24 hours, that is somewhat concerning because we're going to be asking the point of this. Now, Trump ran on no new wars.
Have you considered talking to the president of Colombia, who you call a drug dealer?
No, I haven't really thought too much about him. He's been fairly hostile to the United States, and I haven't given him a lot of thought. He's going to have himself some big problems if he doesn't wise up. Colombia is producing a lot of drugs. They have cocaine factories that they make cocaine, as you know, and they sell it right into the United States. So he better wise up, or he'll be next. He'll be next too. And I hope he's listening. He's going to be next. Yes.
Mr. President.
So
we don't like people when they kill
So I don't know if
people.
you heard that or not, but he's talking to the president of Colombia. I believe Colombia borders Venezuela. I believe it's right there. So he is threatening Colombia that they're going to be next. Whatever happened to no new wars under his watch? Now, here's the weird thing. When President Trump was running for president, one of the things that we were giving him credit for, including yours truly, I was getting hammered by liberals for giving him credit for this myself. No new wars under President Trump. We talked about the Iraq war, talked about the Afghanistan war under Obama, talked about, the Ukraine war breaking out with Russia under Biden. And of course, under Trump, the whole claim was no new war. Do you see that from him now? I'm going to suggest that he seems gung-ho to have some sort of conflict break out under his watch. He obviously joined in gleefully with Netanyahu and bombed Iran and Yemen, I believe Syria, and now he is taking out fishermen off the coast of Venezuela. Here he is threatening Colombia. I'm going to tell you this. The only reason we don't have a war is because these nations have not fought back. Make no mistake about it. We bombed the Iranian facilities, and if someone had done the same to us, we would consider that as an act of war. Now, I got to see what's going on. Hang on a second. TikTok. Apparently, what's happening on TikTok is. I believe I don't know what the censorship was. We haven't even started the show yet, and TikTok is telling me the show is going down or something. I don't know, but the censorship on TikTok is getting insane. By the way, no spamming. I think I see somebody spamming saying "eat the rich" over and over again. But the only reason, I'll repeat this, the only reason we're not currently at war is these nations don't have the ability to fight back. President Trump's actions are acts of war. What we did with Iran is clearly an act of war, bombing their nuclear facilities. Helping the Israelis when Yemen fired back on them. I believe the Houthis in Yemen fired at when Israel and Hamas were going back and forth. Hezbollah jumped in. Israel decimated Hezbollah. And then the Houthis jumped in as well. I believe they're in Yemen. They were firing rockets towards Israel, and America was shooting the rockets down. America was helping Israel in that conflict. So obviously Yemen, Syria, and Iran can't take on the United States. So they kind of let us get away with what amounts to acts of war. Now, what we're doing off the coast of Venezuela, bombing boats at random, not providing any evidence. That's why he's threatening Colombia, because Colombia is speaking out, because they're suggesting that one of the boats they got bombed was contained their citizens. And Trump is telling them, you need to shut up or you will be next. Now, the point I'm making is what I just said. The only reason we are not at war is because he's bombing nations that really can't fight back. But for the notion that, no wars happen under Trump, I'm going to tell you, it looks like there are no wars taking place under Trump because he is selective in who he is choosing to, start shit with. But these are all acts of war. All of these countries that Trump has been involved in, all of this stuff is considered an act of war. Now we've seized an oil tanker. you do realize that if a sovereign nation seized an oil tanker full of valuable resources like oil that belong to America, they'd have a big problem with us. We would take military action to get that back. You seen the movie Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks, where they did seize, they seized the tanker. We sent the Navy to get that back. We didn't just let them take that. We did go and get that back. So he's committing acts of war. The only thing is the nations he's doing it to are simply too weak to do anything about it. So I guess it would be kind of like a bully action, so to speak. But we'll talk about it. How satisfied are you with President Trump? Good evening. Welcome to the show. Garcia, yeah, that's another one. Kilmar Abrego Garcia. We'll talk about it, but yeah, he got released as well. Hang on a second. Hold on, hang on. I will tell you folks, but eventually, I do believe eventually, I'm going to go on record and say this, eventually Kilmar Abrego Garcia is going to one day receive a huge settlement from the United States.
I hope he does.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen. It'll be in the future. But go ahead.
I hope he does. Hi, sexy bald-headed ass.
That's different.
Yeah, I'm high too.
Okay.
With your buttercup-looking ass.
Well, maybe we need to start having you more inebriated before coming on the show.
Let me tell you something. I go off on all the asses. I go off on the far left, and I go off on the maggots because they put us through a lot of shit. They voted for this scumbag. You know what I mean? They are. They're doing the most. So I go off on the asses. Now look, Jamie Crockett, she just said she's going, and now look at all the hate coming about Palestine.
Wait. Jasmine Crockett is going over there?
No, doing the Senate race. It's the Senate race.
Yeah, she is
and now all so-called the white Palestine. Oh my God, she's for G-side, and she took money and all bullshit. Here we go again.
And that's coming from the left?
Yeah, that's coming from the far left. I'm done with these people. They're all maggots. They're fucking racist, anti-black.
You don't think the far left are MAGA, do you?
Yes, they are blue MAGA. Yes,
no.
Because you know what? Let me tell you something. You see, they won't go off on they won't go off on nobody that's white. They won't for the G side of stuff. They always went after who? The black women that wants to come into office.
I gotta disagree with you because they were saying Genocide Joe has got to go.
Because they always assumed that he wasn't doing nothing. But now, where are they at now?
Yeah, but
where they at?
Yeah, but you said they don't.
Not even for pro-Palestine, anyways.
But you said they don't go after anybody white. They went after Joe Biden.
They really don't. No, they went after the vice president. Now they went after. Now they're going after her.
No, they went after Joe Biden too.
Not really. No, they really didn't. No, they really did. Not as bad as they're doing now. Not as bad as they're doing the vice president or her, Crockett. You know what I mean? It's the truth.
The problem is, I don't know what they expect America to do in regards to Gaza. I mean, it's just that's a losing battle. I mean, even if you think Gaza's being mistreated because of their history in supporting groups like Hamas and things like that, any Democrat that really gets strongly behind freeing Palestine and things like that, that's going to be a loser down the line. I mean, you cannot do what the far left is asking you to do in that case.
Because you know why? The far left is anti-black. They don't give a fuck about them. They never gave a fuck about the Palestine and Gaza. Gaza told them, all the people told them, get her in. They never liked Trump. They never did. But see, the white people, we gotta be little saviors, and we have to protect them. And now look, we're in a fucked up situation because of these sorry-ass fucking snow roaches.
You think the far left is anti-black?
Hell yeah, they're anti-black. Tim, you see, that's why you think you always thought, oh, you kind of racist. No, I go after all they asses, all the racist ones, even the far left. I'm a Democrat, okay? I'm a Dem. I want peace. I want people to have what they have. I want people to have a hand up and not a hand out. I want people to have everything what the United States should. But no. The far left, she's not this. They hold black women to a higher standard.
What about folks like
cockroaches?
what about folks like Bernie Sanders? Do you consider him far left?
Hell yeah, he's far left.
He's anti-black, Bernie Sanders?
And he's not saying about Jasmine, no. He's not anti-black because he's not going against Jazz. You know what I'm talking about, Crockett.
Here's where you and I disagree, and I'll tell you because you often say the same thing to me when I hold up this picture.
Don't say it. Tim.
Wait, hold on. Hang on. When I hold that picture, you tell me just because of what I'm saying about Kamala Harris that I'm anti-black woman. I think going after Jasmine Crockett means you don't like Jasmine Crockett. That don't mean you don't like black people.
No, they're anti-black.
How?
These motherfuckers yes, they are. Get off your knees, Tim. I'm trying to be nice to you. I'm high as shit. I'm fixing to get drunk. And I'm trying to be fucking nice, Tim. But you're going to piss me the fuck off. And I have to drag your black ass. And I really don't want to today because I like to get smacked. I like my shit tonight, okay? So be nice.
Okay. I need you to explain to me what the far left does to make you say they're anti-black.
Going after only the black women that's running. They won't go after nobody else, Tim. It's a pattern. It is a pattern. For over a year, it's all quiet. It was all quiet. Now, all of a sudden, a black woman is stepping in the ring to help Texas. She's a fighter. She goes head to head with Trump. Oh my God!
I gotta disagree with you. Going after Kamala, going after Kamala Harris and going after Jasmine Crockett does not make you anti-black. You may just not like. They don't like what they ran on.
She hasn't even ran on nothing yet, Tim. What the fuck are you talking about? And they're going after her. Scary fucking lies. So get off your knees from the white cock. Okay? And look at what they're doing. They are spreading lies, and she hasn't even said what the fuck she's running on yet. She just announced it. And here comes the flood of misinformation about her taking AIPAC money, and she doesn't. Oh, about her. Oh, my God. She took a trip to Israel. Oh, my God. She's pro-Israel. And she's not. She stands on this shit. She says she wants them to stop.
You may be hearing from a group that's not the far left. That might not be the far.
It is the far left.
The far left is not anti-black. I'm gonna tell you. I disagree with you.
Okay, Tim. What the fuck? You're so stupid.
Elizabeth Warren.
That's why they dog walk your fucking ugly ass, Tim.
They
fucking dog walk you and shit. They are.
I went from being sexy and bald headed in 3 minutes to being an ugly ass.
Stop pissing me the fuck off. You don't see it. You don't see it, Tim. You don't see it. You push back on me. I don't see it. But let the white man come up. Well. Here comes the fluffer.
I just disagree. The far left is not.
It's the truth, though.
They're not anti-black. They're not anti-black.
Okay. Yes, they are. They are. They're anti. Yes, they are, Tim.
When you think about what the far left stands for, there's no way you walk away saying that that's anti-black.
Okay, Tim. So what's the point, Tim? What's the point? Why bring this shit up now, like 2 days after she started?
They don't like. They don't like Jasmine Crockett. Maybe.
Okay, the far left don't like No. It's anti-black, Tim. It is. It's racism.
Let me say it this way. What I would like to hear is the far left explain why they don't like her.
Oh, you want the reasons are? Okay, first, because I've been on their asses since they started this shit. Oh, no, she don't take the money. Oh, she's doing it for free. They always move the goalposts, always. They don't want a black woman to do anything. That's the truth. They don't want them in office. That's the truth. They only want YT roaches in office. That's the truth.
Did the far left not support Barack Obama?
Do you want a cookie, Tim?
I'm asking a question. I'll take the
They
cookie
support
too.
one dude, and you don't think they're not anti, you know what, and racist? You really, Tim? Really, Tim? Get off your knees, Tim. I'm trying to be nice, Tim. I'm being ladylike right now, trying my hardest, Tim.
You're being wrong.
No.
Even your dog know you're wrong.
No, my dog don't like your black ass. That's what it is. I say Tim, and he goes fucking bipolar.
No, your dog knows that you're wrong. The far
No,
left
my
is
dog is playing with my grandbaby. That's why.
okay.
Because she has treats. But anyways, I'm telling you the truth, Tim. Why would I go against the far left? The only reason I'll go against them because they are racist and they are anti-black. Every time, Tim, they've been doing the damn thing. They've been saying it every time. They've been so quiet till she starts saying, "I'm gonna run for Congress."
So who the hell?
In Texas.
So who the hell is pro-black in your opinion?
Well, what is pro-black?
Yeah.
We stand for our people. We go out in our communities. We help our people. I hire black and brown people.
That
at
ain't
my
what I'm
restaurants.
asking you. I'm asking you, other than black people, who else is favorable to black people?
Probably nobody at this
Oh,
fucking rate.
come
We don't
on.
have no allies like them. We're supposed to be the white G-man. Our fucking allies. But look, they're turning.
This is why
They're
people.
Pro-Palestine.
This is
Get
why.
the fuck out of here, man.
This is why folks will say that you overplay the race card. You're saying no.
It's not the... Okay, Tim. See, I'm trying to be fucking nice. I had to go in my bathroom because my dog was barking. But you're getting on my fucking damn nerves, Tim. It's the truth. They do not want a black woman in office. No, they don't give a damn. Then why the hell, when she started it, why they started coming after her then, Tim? Why? But being G-side, she taking APAC money, but the other candidate is doing the same thing that she did.
Well, I can tell you why
And it's
that.
a white man or whatever, Hispanic.
I can tell you why that may be happening. What is her name? Jasmine Crockett. She's been a congresswoman. You'd have to go back and look what she's voting in favor of. She may have taken APAC money. She may have sided with Israel.
No, she didn't take no APAC money. No, she didn't. Nope.
She may have sided with Israel.
Well, everybody's going to side. Like she said, they have a right to defend themselves. And they do have a right to defend themselves. But then she stepped up and said they have a right to defend themselves, but there's now they're taking it overboard. She did say that.
How about this? As opposed to saying the far left or these groups don't like black people and calling it racist, how about referring to it as sexist? Maybe it's just because they don't like women in power.
It's because they're black. But go ahead, Tim. You know what? You're so damn stupid. You're so far up the white man's ass. You believe anything the white man tells you. Go ahead, Tim.
This has nothing to do with being up the white man's
Yes,
ass.
it does.
I think there's a lot of people, including Democratic black folks, that do not want a woman in power. I think it might be sexism, not racism.
It's not sexism, it's racism. It could be both, actually, honestly. It's both.
I mean,
it's both. They always want... It's both. Honestly, it could be both. They don't every time. This is going to be another run of 2024. All the misinformation because they don't want her in office. We're going to do another round of the shit, and we're going to be stuck in the same goddamn fucking position. The white man put us in this shit. The leftists. Oh my, we didn't want her in office because we didn't understand what she was saying. Well, you want a 5th grade book?
Well, while you're talking about the white man, how do you feel about the likes of Gavin Newsom and some of the white men that may lead the Democrat Party?
You know what? He's good, though. He's a good one. Right, he's a progressive, and he's a good one.
Is he far left?
He's progressive.
So does Gavin Newsom hate black people?
No. But he's not coming out and attacking her neither. He don't hate her.
Okay.
He's not attacking her.
So why are you saying the whole far left? Maybe it's just a few people.
I'm not saying it's all of them. I'm saying it's the far left, the pro-Palestiners.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Don't you comprehend what the fuck I'm saying?
No, I don't. That's the problem. No, I do not comprehend what you're saying.
All the far left. I'm just saying the pro-Palestinian. They are coming out in droves, coming after her now.
Back
for
in-
the same bullshit. And you know what's disgusting about the shit? I don't give a fuck about Palestine no more. I don't. I really don't. I'm so done with this shit. They threw us underneath the bus for that. You're worried about other people in other countries that can't even help us, but our own house is fucking burning. We need to save our own asses.
You know what you sound like you're saying to me? Sound like you're
What?
saying America first. Do you need a MAGA hat?
No.
I'm hearing America
Fuck that.
first.
I'm not like you. I would never touch that. That's just nasty.
I don't know what
No,
happened
have
to
to
you.
worry about us. See, if they would have listened and listened to black women, we would have had a black woman in office. We would have never been in this situation. We could help Gaza and them. Now we can't help Gaza because our own house is fucking burning. Somebody stole it. Good.
But think about what you're saying, though. You're faulting them for throwing us under the bus for Gaza. You said you don't care about Gaza anymore.
I don't.
You said you
I
care.
don't.
You care about taking care of things that are happening here. That is
Because we have to.
that's
Our
America.
own house is burning. What do you realize that the UK is fixing to take the bonds out of here? Do you know how bad that's going to be?
That's
Do you realize that's going to crush the whole fucking economy?
Then why the hell do you have a problem with Trump? That's what Trump is saying. Is take care of this damn country first. You should be MAGA.
Oh my God, Tim, you're so goddamn stupid. Because of Trump, the UK is going to take the bonds away. Take them out.
What?
Take all those bonds. Yeah. Oh my God, Tim. See, you're so clueless. Why are you running the show? You don't know what the fuck. You don't know what the fuck is going on. The UK is taking bonds. They want to take the bonds. Okay? If they take the bonds out of the United States Treasury, our whole economy is going to collapse.
Well, as you said, America first.
That's not America. Oh my fucking God. Never mind. God, you're ignorant. You're fucking ignorant. That's not America first.
No,
Crashing the whole damn economy?
no. What you're saying is America first. You're saying we need to focus on America and not other people.
How are we going to help somebody if our own shit's burning, you dumb fuck?
That's what Trump is saying. You and Trump have things in common.
Oh my fucking God. You're just so damn stupid. We have the dollar is shrinking. It's like 11% down. Okay? The UK is threatening to take the bonds, so crash the United States. We can't even help our fucking selves. You want us to help somebody else?
That's all sounding like Trump. That's exactly what Trump
No,
is
it's
saying.
not. Trump wants to so-called bring shit back to the United States. And nothing's coming back. They want to take shit from us.
I actually am hearing you, and what I'm thinking is you just hate Trump so much that even if he says something that makes sense that you agree with, you won't give him credit for it.
I don't mean. I'm not. Oh my fucking God, Tim. I mean, you're stupid. I mean, what the fuck, man? You got too much bleach in you? Are you this fucking white on God?
What's
I
it?
was trying to be fucking nice to you. I was trying to be fucking nice. But you're so fucking dumb some damn times that now I gotta be fucking ignorant and go off on your ugly ass. Because you know what? Let me tell you. I'm saying he's not America first. Because if he was, they don't even the thing to take our bonds. If he does not stop kissing what's his name's ass, the Russian's ass, okay, the Russian's ass, we're gonna be fucked. Do you understand me, Tim? Tim, we're gonna be fucked. The whole shit is gonna go crumbling down. Dumb.
I'm just saying, I just don't think you
He's
realize.
not trolling, he really is stupid.
I just look.
If you're trolling, you can't even troll fucking right.
This is not trolling. I'm saying
You see how
that
dumb that is?
I'm saying that you just refuse to look. Like I said, if the man is saying America first, we need to stop focusing on other countries and take care of what's going on here first. And then I hear you say the same shit. You deserve a MAGA hat.
Because he's causing drama, Tim. He is causing drama. They want to take the bonds out, okay? He wants to start a boom boom, and whatever that goddamn country is. I'm so fucking high right now. Whatever, Venezuela for fucking oil. It ain't about fucking the D or the dope. It's about oil because he wants to sell their oil to his people. He's making problems. Can't Don't you comprehend? That's not America first.
Well,
That's what I'm saying, dumb. You fucking reject.
okay.
Now I was trying to be fucking nice to you, Tim.
Am I blowing your high?
But yes, you're blowing my fucking high.
Okay. What I'm trying to find out is simple. If this country is indeed pumping all sorts of drugs into America,
It's not about drugs, Tim. It's about the oil. They just said it. He wants to sell Venezuela's oil to his people, his richies, his billionaires. We're going to go to war behind that.
do you not realize that the claim is that this oil is being shipped to Iran so they can help fund terrorism? But
Oh my God, Tim! I'm so goddamn done.
what? Okay, hold on.
Fucking done.
What?
I'm so
What
goddamn
if?
fucking white. Your mama dropped you on your fucking head too goddamn much. I know. You are a true fucking dum-dum. You really are. I'm trying to tell you, he started so much fucking shit. Our whole economy is going to crash if he doesn't stop sucking on that man's dick, Russia's dick, okay? We're going to get fucked. I'm not saying America first. I'm saying we got to take care of us because he's making so much drama. We cannot take care of other people if we can't even take care of ourselves. That's what I'm saying, Tim.
And I'm responding to you by saying, if Trump seized an oil tanker that was on its way to Iran to fund terrorism, then that means that what Trump did was taking care of America.
It's not about that, Tim.
How do you know that?
Okay, Tim. So why is he making Venezuela to sell the gas to what is that called? A hedge fund or whatever that shit's called. Why, Tim? Why then?
He's
making them sell it, or they're gonna go boom boom.
He's not making Venezuela.
Yes, he is.
You got
He is. He's threatening them right now. He is threatening them.
threatening and doing is two different things. He always says threats.
To try his hardest. This is why we have immigrants coming from Venezuela, because we're going to destroy this shit all over again. He wants to be the big bad man and go and take the fucking oil again.
I'm listening to what you're saying, Gangsta Grandma, and you're basically saying that what Trump is doing is America first and he's protecting our country.
It's not America first. It's causing drama. He is going to make us go to boom boom all over again, and then he's going to get us EU ain't fucking around, FAFO, and going to crash our economy. The shit's not fucking a joke, Tim.
How about the notion that he may be causing drama that in the end will benefit America?
Oh my fucking God! So you think collapsing the fucking economy is going to be fucking nice? Are you fucking shitting me? You fucking know. Oh,
If he ends up,
you're fucking special. You're fucking goddamn special. I swear to God, your mama did something with your dumb ass. She did something because you're two French fries short of a fucking goddamn Happy Meal. Oh God, I can't even call you a homie because you're so goddamn ignorant. You really are. You think collapsing the guy? You really think collapsing the fucking goddamn economy is going to fucking help us? Are you fucking shitting me?
do you have a problem with taking care of America first?
Oh my God, you're fucking God. I can't. I swear to God, I can't deal with you. You're so fucking dumb. You make black men look stupid and dropout situation. Oh God, I'm gonna cry.
Gangsta.
I'm gonna cry because I can't.
Okay, I think perhaps I've ruined.
No. I'm laughing because you're stupid. I'm laughing because you're stupid.
Okay.
You're so fucking stupid if you really believe crashing the fucking economy, going to war, then doing everything is going to I'm not crying. I'm laughing. Going to help us. What is that going to do? It's going to bring us down.
Okay, I got one last comment for you. This is coming from Alter Ego. Alter Ego says, I am convinced this lady is a Republican plant placed here to make regular Democrats look this foolish.
I'm not foolish, but it's being real. I'm being real. Okay, they already said it, that he's trying to take the oil, right? He is trying to take he's trying to take the oil. Okay? He's already threatening them. He's telling them to sell it out, all right? Okay? She's going to try to sell it. Then, I'm laughing, guys, because I'm high as hell. Then the UK really did say they're going to take the bond. I'm being dead ass serious. They're going to take it.
Let's see what actually happens. Let's see how. I got to move it on, but we got to see how it plays out.
No, for real. You don't think it's not going to happen? If it doesn't stop messing, they're not playing with us, Tim.
I'll discuss it on the other side. Gangsta Grandma, appreciate you coming through. Now the counterpoint is when it comes to President Trump. People have been saying things are going to happen, things are going to fall apart, the country's going to, they've been saying this against President Trump the whole time he's been president, and it has not happened. So when she's saying that all of this stuff is going to fall apart under President Trump, the response is going to be when? You keep saying that over and over again. People said by Memorial Day, the country was going to be bankrupt under President Trump. And here we are approaching Christmas. Anyway, looking in the comments, James Harper says, shit has been going bad, though, Tim. Not as bad as they've been painting it, though, James. Not as bad as they've been painting it. Economy is not great right now. I'm not going to pretend like it is, but it is not in the middle of a depression like many on the left have claimed would happen under President Trump. She's right, though. He wants the oil, says Stephen. Well, we're going to find that out. We'll certainly find out. Tim didn't even try and make her cry. No, I didn't, Alter Ego. We don't make our guests cry. That's not the goal. That is not the goal. Tap the screen, though. That is the goal. Get us up to 20,000 on the likes. Feel free to smash. Veronica777 on Instagram says she is crazy. I'm too nice to Veronica. Hey, listen, I do believe in free speech and letting my guests state their case. Some are a little bit more passionate than others, but we don't block, ban, or censor our guests for having a little bit of passion, so to speak. Tap the screen, get the likes on up if you're watching on Instagram or YouTube. Smash that like button. Same if you're watching on Facebook. We don't block, ban, or censor. We are MAGA friendly, as you may be able to tell. Liberals are welcome on the program as well. We go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. When I say free speech, I mean you can be critical of anybody on this program, including yours truly. Where is our part of the money, says Mark Yankovic. Oh, that's a good question. Well, first of all, the money's got to come in. And look, will you see any money under President Trump? Well, he has been promising $2,000, $5,000, and $6,000 stimulus checks. I think during the Doge era, they talked about $6,000. I think now they're talking about $5,000 or something. So he's talked about it. Will that happen? I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say that the closer we get to the midterms, and because listen, President Trump knows that if he loses handedly in the midterms, it's going to be bad for him in a lot of ways. Impeachments, court cases, legacy, his being a lame duck, all that. It would not surprise me if before the midterms, to get more voters to see the likes of Trump, they handed out stimulus money or something. It wouldn't surprise me if, July or August, they started really pushing that. I don't think that's above Trump. So I'm going to go on record and say, I'm not 100% sure that you won't get a check in the mail of some kind of way. And it's got to be beyond tax cuts. Tax cuts ain't it. You got to give people some fucking cash money. Looking in the comments, though, Mark says Trump is finished. Well, you can only run 2 terms, right? Do you know how to spell impeachment? I just read what you wrote there, and it didn't. The spell checker did not go off for the way you spelled it, so that you just told me how to spell it. Let me go back to the box. Miss Mo Better. No one does it better. Good evening, Miss Mo. How's it going?
Hey, Tim.
Hey.
That was rough for you, bro.
Yeah. she's a passionate.
Fight back, Tim. Damn, fight back.
She's a passionate viewer. She.
Yeah, she is. You know we fucks with gangster grandma. You know we fucks with
But
her.
do you agree with her that the far left does not like black people?
No.
Okay, so I'm not the only one that disagrees.
I mean,
with her.
listen, I'm gonna put it to you like this though. Not all of them. I'm sure some of them don't, because before you are a politician, before you are anything, you're a black or white. You understand? And there's a lot of people that are in those positions that have come up along the Jim Crow era.
Yeah,
and times when at their dinner tables, you know what they were talking about. So
yeah, but that ain't. But usually them are
no to all of it. No.
yeah, but
So,
them are usually not far left. Far left people are the ones that are willing to go to jail
they
defending.
go to bat, you know.
Yeah, they-
exactly. Like people like Bernie Sanders, even though you know Bernie Sanders he's not racist.
Like the ones that are going to jail trying to stop ICE. Those are far left people. They don't go to jail fighting for people's rights.
Yep. That's true.
So Gangsta Grandma got it wrong then, right?
that part, yeah.
Thank you.
But
Thank
I mean,
you.
that's pretty much her opinion, though. I can't say whether she's right or wrong. That's just her opinion of it. Like you said, it's a freedom of speech. If that's how she feels, if she feels they're all racist or whatever, that's her opinion.
If the Gestapo is out there looking for black people or Hispanics or whatever, the far left are going to be the ones that have you hiding out in their churches and shit like that. The far left likes black people. Yeah,
that is a fact. They're not willing to bend for anything when it comes to working with the other side. They're not having it. That's what it means to be far left.
Right.
There's no straddling the fence. There's no and period.
Fair enough. So I mean, you see the question of the program is, are you satisfied with Trump? Now I'm going to assume you probably have a few disagreements with Trump, but how sad? I mean, high school grades, A, B, C, D, or F. Where are you putting Trump at on the scale?
He's off the charts. He ain't even got a score. It was.
You mean like A plus, as he said? You putting him at that high?
F plus, F minus.
Wait a minute.
A Z for zero.
Come on now, listen.
In red pen, in red Sharpie. That's what he needs, a red Sharpie.
Are you not judging him a little bit unfairly? I mean, we're not dealing with a depression.
How? What has he done to say that is benefiting really American people to say that he deserves an A?
Okay, I'll say it this
Even
way.
a C, not even an A, a C.
I'll agree that he doesn't deserve an A, but you gave him an F plus. You gave him a grade that means he can't do any worse, and I think that is right. He can do a lot worse. America is still a functioning country. The economy's not that freaking bad. You still can find a job.
You still have some functioning people that have some kind of common sense. But coming from his standpoint, he gets an F, Tim. He is not a leader, number one. He has zero leadership qualities. Number two, he attacks American people. He's attacking his own people. So how could you give him any kind of credit for that? Number two, and then you got to go look at these executive orders and stuff that he's writing. You know, he's trying to get rid of the bargaining units, which would affect veterans, the military people, federal workers, and all of that stuff. And they had to come together and block that. So now what happens is now it's going to go to Congress. Congress is going to bow down to everything he says and does.
Well, he is doing a few good things, though. I mean, securing the border.
Could you please not mention that fucking border to me one time? That border went out the window because the immigrants are not what is our problem. They were not our issue. Because if that were the case, if the issue was the border is the problem, why are they crossing over there? Why are they going down there? Number one. Number two, why is there still so much crime and corruption and all of that stuff happening here?
Well,
you got people out, you got these ICE agents out here acting like thugs.
Speaking of crime, the Trump administration is also suggesting that thanks to their efforts, crime in D.C. has went down dramatically.
The crime in D.C. was never up. Of course, he gonna get up there and say, "Oh, we got it down," because you in the fucking area where the crime was already. So
Oh.
stop fucking lying. And I wish some of these reporters would get balls and just to come out and say, stop lying. Look at that fucking Christy Nome, that Botox 304. And if you don't know what a 304 is,
We know
it's
what. What about okay?
Botox, that bitch was lying so much that she wanted to leave the fucking hearing early.
Well, they were grilling the hell out of her, though. I mean,
As they should, because what she was doing up there was straight up lying. And they came with receipts. They had a whole Zoom with a fucking veteran that they deported over to South Korea.
yeah, he had three sons. Was it the guy with the 3 Marine children?
Yeah, and he got a Purple Heart. He was shot in 1989. He shot and he received the Purple Heart. Matter of fact, 2, and they still deported him. She lied right before they showed him.
But
And
how about this though? How
Listen,
about
you can't believe shit that come out of their mouth. They do nothing but lie and scam. They looking to gerrymander. Look at what they trying to do in Indiana. And those people in Indiana are not having it.
Yeah, they
said
stopped
no.
that.
Even the
stopped that.
Republicans, they're going after him. Say no, this is not how we operate.
But how about this in regards to the people that the Trump administration are deporting? How do you respond to folks who will say, if you've been over here for 15, 20 years and you haven't found a legal way to stay or get your documents in order, you deserve to get kicked out? There are people who are saying that. How do you respond to them? Like the father of the 3 veterans you're talking about. That guy's been here a long fucking time. I mean, why didn't you get this straight when you had Obama in office and all these liberals that could? I mean, why didn't you get your paperwork straight?
Do you know Do you know how long it takes some people to get their papers? Do you know
It don't take
takes them a
that
long time
long.
and a lot of money. It takes them a long time and a lot of money. That's why they have to keep getting visas extended, because going through that process makes it almost hard, almost impossible for them to do it the right way. See, and the thing is, even with what they're doing now, they're going into people's hearings and all of that stuff and taking people out of there. It's unlawful.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they were not going into people's hearings when Biden was in office. You had 8 years of Obama. You could be, I mean, when you don't have anything even started, you just been living under the radar for the last 20-some years.
They had people that had cases started before Obama was even in office. There's people been almost 30 years to become a legal citizen. I know personally. Took 30 years for them to become a legal citizen of the United States, because the process is expensive and it's hard. They take you through all kinds of red tape. So it takes some people longer than others to become citizens. That doesn't mean that they're not doing it right. It's just not happening as fast as people would like it to happen.
Well, then how about this? Then you would have to realize that if I come here illegally, no matter how long I'm able to stay under the radar, if they catch me, things may not go my way.
Well, that's true. They gonna do it. But the thing is, they're not catching anybody illegal. They're going after all the people that are actually here illegally. They're treating the asylum seekers as illegal immigrants. That's unlawful, Tim.
Well, wait a minute.
What they do, they try to revert back. Oh, Biden let this person in. Biden did this. First of all, we have to stop comparing them to Biden. Biden was coming off a global pandemic, which is why the economy was fucked up, because with goods and services and stuff having to come from other countries, those countries was fucked up like we was. They do not equate. I'm sorry. We have to get away from that. They have to stop. As a matter of fact, stop talking about Biden.
Speaking of Biden, let me ask it to you this way: do you now that we got a year of Trump, we got actually we got 5 years of Trump. Do you believe
Someone's
that?
at the front door.
Do you?
Tell them we busy.
We
We
busy.
got the clothes on.
Do you believe that Biden was a better president than Trump?
Yeah, he might, even if he wasn't a better president, he was a better person, which carries you a lot further than being a president. I'm sorry.
So Jimmy Carter, which is known as one of the worst presidents in our lifetime, he was a really good person.
He was, and that's why he got away with the shit that he did, sending us into a recession. Yes, because he spoke well. He knew how to treat people, even if he made bad decisions when it came to making laws and passing, doing stuff. It carried him further because he wasn't nasty. He wasn't up there boasting about shit that he was doing.
He wasn't doing none of that stuff. Trump makes it all about him. That's why he gave himself a AAA plus rating when it's the total.
Yeah, I don't. I can't defend him on that. I can play devil's advocate up to a point. I don't know why he gave himself.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
and you would be the fluff king if you could agree with.
Well, I'll say this: just like I went after you when you gave him an F plus 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 plus, like he can't do any worse. He gave himself a grade that suggests he can't do any better, and that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Because that's who he is. He still thinks he's on The Apprentice. He still think and you see how they was grilling the people like Fer the Great talking now. They was talking about Antifa. Y'all out here naming people. Well, who's Antifa? Where's their headquarters?
That was bad. That was really bad.
And everybody that goes in front of the committee do the same shit. They all doing the same shit. Pam Bondi, Botox Gnome, and that dude they had up there today. They all do the same fucking shit. Y'all get up there, lie, and then try to, Biden. What? First of all, you talk about Biden, bitch. Wasn't you in the woods pew-pewing a dog or some shit?
You talking about Christy Gnomes. I don't get why they're talking about Antifa should be a terrorist group. Because that guy's answering of questions was terrible. I mean, he didn't know where they were headquartered. He didn't know how many members. Like, how are you?
It doesn't exist, Tim. Yeah. That's why he don't know. It does not exist. They get up there and all it takes for Trump to put something out on True Social, one word, and they take that shit and run with it. Now he gonna make them look like fools because they're not gonna do shit to Trump. Everybody under him is gonna pay for it.
Yeah, and Mike says, I'm going to leave this movie theater. I'm tired of the yapping. Are we yapping, Miss Mo Better?
Fuck him. Go color something. Ain't nobody asking you to stay here. Ain't nobody over there pushing your button.
Did you tell the man to go color a grown ass man?
He could color, scratch, and sniff. He got a few options. Sit and spin, get his ass and bark at the fucking hole. Whatever it is you want to do. Go ahead, go mind your business. Because people do that all the time. They come on here talking shit, but they still here. You don't have to be.
Well, don't run away, my guest. You know we enjoy having.
That was done. We here minding our business, having a conversation. Hopefully, teaching that dumbasses something.
Well, here's something a little bit more positive. What's that says? What's this lady's podcast? I want to subscribe. So there you go, Miss Mo Better. Looking good, by the way.
Miss Mo Better. I'm over there. Yeah, just stay tuned. I'll be over there.
All right. Looking.
But yeah, no, it just it's crazy because again, Trump keeps trying to say America first, America first, America first. We know he's talking about the Boogaloo Boys. It ain't got shit to do with us as American citizens. It has nothing to do with us as American citizens. He's talking about a whole different American first. Look it up.
So let me just get your spiel on this. When Trump says America first, what do you think Trump's America first would be like? If Trump makes America great, what would that America look like in your opinion?
It'll look just like him, all white men. White. Then they have one black guy. White. That's exactly what is in their heads. Stephen Miller's head. And that little fuck boy Mike Johnson's head. In their head, this country's supposed to be ran by Christian white men, not even white women. Christian white men. That's all they see. They don't want anybody of any color. Number one, they don't want no woman. Number two, their idea of a woman is barefoot in the house. You're only good in the kitchen and the bedroom. You don't make no decisions. You don't sit at these conversations. You don't do none of that. You go in there and cut our hoods, put holes in our hoods.
And what are the black people doing during this time?
Well, at this point, they go fuck around. We be minding our business. We out here learning line dances and shit. We don't be fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? See, this is why I don't understand how could the blagger. I don't know who the fuck raised.
I'm talking to a lot of black MAGA. They're still quite happy with Trump.
I don't understand how. See, they think everybody now. What it is with blagger. Everybody's sitting watching the stock market and different things like that. So I wish they would actually say that though. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
They keep coming up with some shit that is just so out there. Like I mean, in the galaxy out there as an excuse to why they support Trump. Trump do everything but call you the N-word, stupid.
Well, maybe they haven't seen Trump coming at their people like that.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
I mean,
okay.
Black Maggot.
But they keep talking about y'all gave up a plantation to join a cult. Make it make sense.
Gave up a plantation. Well, I gotta move on, Miss Mobetta. I hope that's not right, though. I hope you're wrong on
Gave up
that.
a plantation to enter into a cult. So that's why they keep saying that. Well, y'all on a Democratic plantation. When we ask them to explain what that plantation is, none of them ever have an answer as to what it is.
And I see in the comments.
Oh, they telling you who to vote for. Like, come on, no.
Well, I mean,
The fuck?
they believe that the liberals are trying to destroy the damn country. I got to move it on, but this is where black.
Yeah, but them stimulus check ass babies, man, they need help.
Well, they say the liberals are the ones that always want free shit.
Bullshit. Tell them to go look at these maps and see how much red pops up when who's getting the most handouts. And I bet they'll shut the fuck up.
Good point. Mr. Mobetta, looking good. Appreciate it.
All right.
Go ahead on, girl. Shit, making my camera look good. All right, moving on with the program. Tap the screen, get us on up to 30,000. Always enjoy talking to Miss Mobetta. HD Harry says Trump is a clown, and if you support him, you're a fool. History will show how bad he was. He's a cancer on humanity. Damn. What are you putting him up there with Stalin? Adolf? Wow, a cancer on humanity. That's kind of strong there, Harry. Listen, he still has 3 years to go. So anything could happen, but what has Trump done right now in his first 5 years as president that would denote him being a cancer to humanity? Damn, that's strong. It's more like big bothering. It's more like big brothering these drug countries. I don't quite get what you're saying there, Cash Bass. If you have no tax on overtime, no tax on tips, lower oil prices, we are all benefiting. Color does not matter. Well, first of all, no tax on overtime and no tax on tips. There's a whole lot of us, like yours included, yours truly rather. I'm an independent, so I don't get paid overtime, and I don't get tips. So no tax on overtime and no tax on tips is irrelevant to me. In fact, a whole lot of small business owners, that's irrelevant to them. If you're not getting paid hourly, and if anybody working on salary does not get overtime, because they generally, you're on salary, you don't get overtime. So there's a whole lot of people that don't even apply to. So, and then you say lower oil prices, which is true. The price of gas is down. In my opinion, I got a lot of viewers who say the price of gas is not down where they live at, though. So I'll leave it at that. Some people say there's no down in some people say in their area gas prices are not down. But I don't think the Trump economy is causing Americans to celebrate, even though my viewer said no tax on overtime, no tax on tips, gas prices are down, we're doing great. I don't think most Americans are seeing it because you're skipping over grocery prices, you're skipping over interest rates, you're skipping over the cost of a home, the cost of cars. You're skipping over a whole bunch of stuff and just focusing on no tax on tips and gas prices. There's a lot of things that are up that are bad. Going back to the box, double tap the screen. You're right there, Paul. Tap the screen, smash that like button. Help get the likes up on YouTube, too. Get your boy up to 100 on YouTube. Y'all can make that happen. Tap that like button. Looking in the comments, so is the demand. Miss Mobetta, I agree with that. Denkel, good evening. Welcome to the program. Talking about President Trump. Now, he's taking this Venezuelan oil tanker, but apparently there was an actual bench warrant out for this. They wanted to seize this tanker. This is not just coming from the Trump administration. Apparently, a judge had actually signed a warrant for this thing as supposedly funding Iranian terror. So did Trump do a good job, Denkel?
No.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Wait a minute. If the tanker,
Look, I ain't gangster grandma, bro. You ain't about to run my blood pressure up. Asking me so crazy. Did he do the right thing?
Well, wait a minute. If they're claiming that this Venezuelan tanker was using a false flag, saying it was from the country of Guyana when it was not, and it was headed to Iran, where they were going to use the resources on that to fund terror, how did Trump not do a good thing? I'm
not trying to avoid the question, but I would just say, what about the thousands of tankers that go between Iran and China all the time, and we don't do shit?
Well, you got to start somewhere, right?
No, you should have started over there where all of Iran's money is being made. But since they're dealing with China, nobody got shit to say.
Well, yeah, but this is Venezuela's in our backyard. So you really don't want Venezuela to be corrupt. I mean, look, you can't do nothing about China at that level. I mean, you don't want to go to war, full-blown war with China, but you can stop.
But then you're not sincere in what you say. If you say, well, we can't do it over there, but we could do it over here. We got assets all around the globe. It ain't nowhere we can't touch within 20 minutes to this whole world. Yeah. So don't say what we can't do over there, but we can do it here, which damn Venezuela is what, 1,800 miles from us by sea?
Yeah.
But now we saying they in our backyard. They're not in our backyard. We got we got countries in between us.
Well, there's not a lot between Venezuela and our territory of Puerto Rico. I believe it's a straight shot. I don't think there's anything.
Now we claiming Puerto Rico. So now we.
That is our country. Well, listen,
I know it is. It's a territory, but they don't get none of the rights and freedoms that we get in America. They just the same way France might claim used to claim Haiti. That's not France.
I'm surprised, and thank you for that, James Harper. Appreciate that. I'm surprised that the Puerto Ricans are okay with that. I mean, they literally are. What do you say? Taxation without representation. They literally are living that life, but they are not represented at all. They're not considered.
They're not cool with it. They're not cool with it. But they can't. Just like you saying about Venezuela, they just can't do shit about it.
So
they get to pay taxes towards our government, but they don't get nothing in return. And hell, Trump barely wanted to give them goddamn money when their whole country got washed away. He went down there and started shooting rolls of toilet paper at the end.
That's terrible, though. I'm surprised Obama didn't try to do it or some liberal. But to me, Puerto Rico should become a state or something of that nature. If they got to pay and they got to be part of America, whether they like it or not, they should get representation.
The Dems have been fighting for them to become a part of the United States forever, but it's going to take 60 vote, to get over the filibuster. And we just never had that opportunity. No matter who's been in charge, nobody's had a 60 vote majority.
I'm hearing that there is a possibility of that come November. Do you think there's any chance of that?
Oh man, it's inching towards that. I mean, with the results we seeing, like all of these special elections and all of these mayor's races and all of the stuff we seeing around the country, I mean, we really, if Jasmine Crockett mess around and win in Texas, I say
That sounds like Pace McConnell sauce if Jasmine Crockett win. Get a rope. If Jasmine Crockett wins in Texas, it's going to be a whole lot of big belt buckles coming to protest that.
Hey, but you've been seeing these states and these people there. Now is the time when people, even Republicans, are starting to say, fuck you, Trump. No. Indiana said no.
That was bad.
Not doing it.
Yeah, and they did it by, what was the vote count? I just wrote it down, 21 or something like that. 31-19. So and they have a super majority. So a whole lot of Republicans went with the Democrats and said we're not going to gerrymander. It was a 31-19 vote, 31 against, 19 in favor. So you got to assume all 19 of those were Republicans. I think they said like 20. I think there's only like 10 or 11 Democrats in that. So you're talking, what is that, 50? And you're talking only about 10 or 11 Democrats. So about 20 Republicans went with the Democrats in Indiana. Wow.
Right. And so we're seeing this stuff around the country. even though this stuff has been held up in courts and it takes so long to go through the courts and eventually get to the Supreme Court, all of these judges, all of them are striking down this shit. They done recalled some of those teachers that they had to fire from the Department of Education. Now they just voted against him, his executive order for getting rid of federal unions. Like this shit, these people are saying no.
So what
This
you're
shit
saying
is
is you're
wrong.
seeing cracks in the foundation. Kilo says, what possible resources can Venezuela give to Iran that Iran does not already have in regards to oil? He says, LOL, that's some low effort excuse that if you ask me.
True.
Well,
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Well,
How the hell is Venezuela? They barely above water and they helping Iran. What kind of? I don't even understand that.
well,
They're probably competitors. They're probably competitors, and in moving around, drugs and stuff. I don't even. So how the hell is Venezuela friends with Iran? Like
my
how is that
enemy,
helping?
my enemy, and my enemy is my friend. I mean, like shit. Maybe they'll give us some weapons. America's got boats and shit. Telling what they might strike us. Maybe they got access to surface-to-air missiles and things. Maybe they got something they can help us with. They're about to
Well,
attack.
They just seen what we did to Iran.
Yeah.
Ain't no way they gonna put good money behind bad money.
Well, I mean, Russia bought some weapons from Iran, did they not? Drones and shit.
Yeah, but Russia ain't never been in our corner in the first place.
Yeah.
Russia down there helping out damn Venezuela now.
Right. Well, and that's what I would. If I'm Maduro, I'm reaching out to some of those big superpowers that are anti-American, like China and Russia. Like, what do I got to do to get you guys to come down here? You can have a base, whatever. I mean, because as long as we just continue being as we are, America's always going to keep fucking with us. And that's what countries like Iran and Syria, Yemen, some of these countries that we don't like, they need to do whatever they need to do to pair up with Russia or China. Look, you can put a base on our territory, whatever it's got to take, because if we just continue status quo, America's going to keep fucking with us. We can't get certain weapons because they don't want us to be able to defend ourselves. America keeps their thumb on us. So
Yeah, well, he has reached out to them, but they are keeping them at arm's length because they know damn well if Russia try to move and have a base in what you say is our backyard, it's gonna be a problem for them. They already trying to work through this Ukraine
well,
shit.
shit, we got bases in their backyard.
Whose backyard?
Everybody's.
Look, why you bringing up old shit?
There's not a as you said, with the moment we started this live off, we can be on anybody in like 20 minutes. We have a base, or we have a forward base, we have ships, we have something, we have assets 20-30 minutes from damn near every country on earth. We can reach the North Pole in a few minutes. We are every fucking where. So I mean, the only way you're gonna, I suppose, reduce the power of the United States is they're gonna have to start teaming up, because we have focused so much on strengthening our military that we don't give a shit about the people in our country. A lot of these other countries are focused on healthcare and schooling and the health of their citizens. We like, fuck it, we gonna just keep buying weapons. So ain't nobody gonna be able to compete.
Right. I mean, we just passed another almost $1 trillion defense package today or yesterday.
More money on
like,
weapons.
Look, our people will be just eating dog shit, but we'll have the greatest military the world has ever seen.
Yeah. You know who else is doing something like that? North Korea. North Korea does
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, North Korea does that.
Yeah, they actually have to use human feces to fertilize their plants.
Damn, that's got to smell nasty in the crib. God damn, you.
I mean, it's fertilizer. They're just like they use cow manure. Like people
Oh,
use
okay,
fertilizer.
but human shit, really? God damn. I mean, I don't even look. I'm not a farmer. I'm a city boy, so I wouldn't even want to mess around with cow dung. But this is Pookie shit. I really don't want nothing to do with that.
I don't want Pookie shit in my garden.
No, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Wow. But I mean, that is the way it is, though. It's going to be hard for any country to compete with us militarily, because we focus so much on the military that we will let our own people, go without so that we can buy more military equipment.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been like that. We spend more than like the next 10 countries combined in defense spending. And they steady trying to squeeze more and more and more. Because I know from being in the military, then going over to civil service, and now I'm retired, I'm seeing like now they trying to take away services from the military hospital, saying that they really not needed and all that kind of, like they steady squeezing the budget for everybody, the people and everything. But the budget keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
If you wanted to find waste, fraud, and abuse, would that not be the place to look?
Trust me, I know. There's so many things in government contracting that's so wasteful. Like if I make a mistake, if I go into the military service, their ordering platform, which they have different names, but if you go into it and you order something and it comes and it's the wrong part, or it's something that you didn't need, you can't return it. There is no returning it. Like you literally have to throw it in the trash. And I mean, if I ordered a $20,000 part and it happened to be the wrong part, there is no return system in the military service. Like, so it's so many things, like, and ever so often on board a ship, we would have secret parties where we would just have to get together and go dump shit over the side of the ship at night so nobody sees it. But I mean, hundreds of thousands, and I know this is some really deep shit, but yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of shit, tools and all of that shit.
Just dump it into the ocean.
Just dump it into the ocean. When they talk about Davy Jones' locker, oh, there's some shit down there.
Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, I mean, but that's like I said, that's the way we've been. We just want to stay on top, and I guess that's the way to do it. But it does come at the expense of our own citizens, because it makes no sense that America doesn't have some form of universal health care. That just absolutely makes no sense when all these other countries are able to provide it for their citizens. But it's because of that. They don't have 10 aircraft carriers and a whole, a few dozen submarines and all of that shit. They don't have that stuff because the maintenance behind it, like what they have now, the amount of assets they have in the Caribbean right now. Can you imagine how much it costs to maintain all that per day?
I mean, it would be hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, because I know it takes, like, on just general, like a aircraft carrier, it takes over $1 million a day.
All that for the drug cartels.
And not just one ship out of a whole battle group. We got nuclear subs in the water over there. We got SEAL teams over there, special ops teams over there. Bro, it's in the hundreds of millions.
So is it worth it to stop fentanyl from coming into the country from Venezuela?
That is not what we're doing. There are people that talk to the president or should be talking to the president that says this is not how you stop an addiction in your own country. Just like I said the other day, that's just like going out there picking up 1,000 corner boards off the street in America and think that addiction is going to go away. Yeah. No, you're just going to destroy the lives of these little kids who out there, doing something they shouldn't be doing. But it's not.
What I don't get, though, is if you think about the amount of money we're spending to have a battle group stationed in the Caribbean, we would probably have to rob them of their oil resources to make it worth the expense it costs. I mean, because what we're blowing up, we're sending missiles that are worth hundreds of times more than the boat we're blowing up. I mean, those two missiles, the double tap, how much money was spent on that double tap to take out the few people that were on that boat? I mean,
a lot more than people could grasp, because think about it. They said it took like over an hour for the smoke to clear before they even noticed it was two people still clinging to a boat. So they had to keep those assets in the area just sitting around. And I'm talking about drones, planes in the sky, helicopters, boats on station, backup boats to those boats. It takes a lot to do a military operation, and to do it for a little boat.
So then,
a little boat.
there's a hell of a lot of MAGA that have served this great nation. Why do they see this so different? MAGA believes that what he is doing in regards to what we're discussing is definitely worth it. Why do they see this so differently?
I don't know that they believe it's worth it. I believe they just listen to what Trump says and that's it. Because I have conversations with people who are Trump. Well, you know, they don't want to admit that they really MAGA now. They like, I'm independent, but I love everything he's doing. See, that's their way of distancing themselves from him. But they know it's not right.
Well, I got Ian Watson in the comments. He says, yes, he is doing exactly what we voted him for. So, I mean, they do like the guy. They do like what he's doing.
And that's an easy blanket statement to say without ever articulating what he actually said he was going to do. Because he didn't say he was going to start bombing people off the coast of Venezuela. He did not.
That's a good point. That is a real good point, that a lot of things that Trump is doing, like for instance, Kamala Harris stated that if during the debates, that if Trump gets in there, he's going to use the military on his own people. And the right said that was fear-mongering. But then the minute he started doing it, well, that's what we voted for. You didn't vote for it. You were calling it fear-mongering when she was saying it.
They started out, they eased into it. They started out saying, well, no, he's not actually, you know, doing this to American citizens. And then you show him he's doing it to, well, those citizens should have, should have got their immigration status fixed. And then you show them that they were going to court. Well, they just shouldn't have been here anyway. Now he's saying, fuck them all. We just don't want them. They slowly gotten to this point because they have to agree with everything he says. Like there's no pulling back because look, I agree that, look, I'm gonna talk shit to you. If you done spent the last fucking 8 years kissing this dude's ass and now that I get to show you that there was no fear mongering, I'm gonna talk shit to you. And that's what they don't like. Just like the Somali guy. You seen the Somali guy when they interviewed him? The Somali
one
guy
that said we're hurting because people were telling us we told you so?
Yeah. He only pissed off because people is telling him you fucked up. Not because he fucked up, but because people are
because he's still claiming to be a Republican. Like, damn. You do realize that even if Trump never got elected, never ran for president, the other Republicans didn't like your ass.
Right.
I don't get that. I don't get
it's the craziest shit.
I mean, I don't know why a Somali would join the Republican Party, because when Trump said they're garbage, they didn't do nothing but applause. So they already felt you were garbage. He just, as he stated when he said that, I'm going to say what everybody else don't want to say. So you're joining the party and you're at these rallies and secretly all of these people think you fucking garbage. I don't understand that. I mean, Trump didn't start that. That was there already.
Right. And then him basically getting up there saying, I'm a bigot. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, me too. I don't like Somali. Don't know not one Somali person. But they up there talking about, they should all go. Like, nah, get them out of here. Wow. Like, that's some 1930s Germany type shit.
Yeah, we talked about it when he said it. I did say it sounds like tiki torches and pitchforks. I mean, it really sounded just like that. But I'll tell you it's probably guaranteed, certainly in Minnesota, it's going to be hard to win as a Republican in any local government. I mean, and that's going to probably apply to Dearborn, Michigan. We've seen what just happened in Miami. In those areas where you have a large amount of descendants of immigrants that have become legal citizens, it's going to be hard to win as a Republican, probably for a good generation or more.
And that's why Trump is he's so urgent. He needs to create something that goes in his favor. I wouldn't be surprised if there was another attempt on his life again, because he needs to bring people back. He needs to create that image again of this strongman, because everybody's telling him to fuck off.
What about if the man I mentioned this earlier. What if the man hand out $2,000 to $5,000 in stimulus?
Look, I don't know if people I don't know. Look, I'm not.
You're stuttering. You're tripping.
I'm trying to put it in a way that's not like insulting to everybody. But Like I got a little bit of money in assets and stuff, but $2,000 is not gonna change anybody's fucking life. Like, yeah, you might. What is it gonna do? Help you
Well,
catch up on
well,
a
you
couple
give
bills,
out
maybe?
you give out 2 to 5,000 in stimulus, maybe July, August, but you also leave a promise that there will be another one in January. I mean, you can lie about the second one, but you make them think that this is not the only one coming. That's
Well,
what
he's lying about the first one because first of all, people need to understand that Congress has to authorize any stimulus checks, any whatever he talking about, incentives and what did he call it? He called it interest payments or whatever he calling it. It has to go through Congress. And second of all, those funds are stuck in an account because the Supreme Court has not said whether those things are even
no,
legal.
he has those entities on his side, and I don't think Congress would get in the way. I got to move it on, but Congress already knows that they're hurting with their constituents because of Trump. So if Trump wanted to give a stimmy out, I think that the right wingers in Congress are going to agree with it because a lot of them are on the chopping block anyway. Give you the last word.
They would need to have a filibuster, and that's not going to happen right now. To give people not going to stick their necks out to give people money that the Supreme Court hasn't ruled on. I don't even think they'll bring it up for a vote. That's why they have it. Everybody just Trump talking about. Nobody's getting any fucking money from them tariffs.
Yeah.
And the one thing I'd like to ask is when Trump's is telling people that the kids should only have 2 pencils for school and only, $2 is enough, I would sure like for somebody that can talk to him. I want him to get up there the day after Christmas and tell people what his grandkids got for Christmas.
Ooh.
I'd like to know
Ooh.
what they got while he telling people that $2 is enough.
That ain't gonna be answered. Didn't Cal? Appreciate you coming on. That ain't gonna be answered. My kid got a Ferrari. What did your kid get? That ain't gonna be answered. Kalo says you could still have aircraft carriers and still afford universal health care. The U.S. healthcare system is inefficient and not aimed at preemptive healing. I don't think you're gonna have 12 aircraft carriers and be able to give universal health care. I don't think. I mean, you could still have the world's most powerful military and provide universal health care. I believe that, but not to the level we got it at. I mean, I think China has 2 aircraft carriers. I think Russia has 1 or something like that. We have like 12, I believe. So there's nobody that even has 30% of the carriers we have. I mean, our military is significantly larger. I think the largest military air force is the U.S. Air Force. Second largest is the U.S. Navy. And then I don't know who's third, but it's much further down than what our Navy has. I mean, we're way overstocked in military equipment. So I don't know if you could keep the military at the size it's at and provide universal health care. But you could cut our military budget in half and we would still be a superpower. We would still be the most powerful military on earth. You're talking about stimulus checks. He's talking about tariff checks. Big difference. I don't think nothing's going to come out of the tariffs, though, Watson. I think, well, look, if the stimulus checks you could, wherever the money comes from, you can call it whatever the hell you want. But the tariff money that Trump is claiming he's making, that's just money coming from you and I. We're paying more for the shit we buy. So they may be seeing more money, but it's coming from us. It's almost like if your town votes to have the lotto or the lottery in your town, and your city councilman is bragging about how much money the lottery is bringing in this town. That's most of the residents buying those tickets. You ain't bringing in no money. We're spending money hoping to hit a jackpot. That's our fucking money you got on the chart that you're talking about you're bringing in. Most of that money is coming from us playing the lottery. Yeah, a few people may come in town and buy tickets, but that's our money. It ain't bringing the town in any damn thing. Just like casinos. Casinos ain't bringing any. When people say casinos are going to do that, the casino's going to bring in money. No, it ain't. That's the citizens of this town that are going bankrupt, going to that casino playing slot machines and shit. That's our money that the town is bringing in. As he shrinks the size of federal government, this is where the tariff money is really going to come into effect. It already is. Things just take time and doesn't happen overnight. Well, here's the problem with that, Kevin. When he shrinks the size of the federal government, what is he doing for the people that are losing their jobs? They need unemployment checks. They may end up getting SNAP. You got to, like I said, what we're doing is taking money from one part of our pocket and putting it in the other pocket and then bragging about how fat one pocket is. Okay, firing federal workers is saving money. Okay, but them federal workers are now going to need to be on the dough to survive. So they need to reach in the other pocket and say, help me out. Let me go back to the box. Continuing on, we'll move it to Jeff twice. Good evening, Jeff. Welcome to the program. Snap out of it. Get your ass a job, says Paul. Well, look, if you fire somebody that's been working for the federal government 15, 20 years, got a union job with pension and shit like that, even if they do go out and get a regular job, it probably ain't going to pay as much. So they're not going to have a vacation time they've built up. You're going to start back at the fucking bottom. When Elon Musk was firing all them people, a lot of them folks are starting back at the bottom. I mean, they're probably earning less. They may have to get 2 jobs to make what they were making at the one. They don't lost a ton of vacation time that they may have built up. You know, a lot of jobs start you out with 2 weeks of vacation. They may have 3, 4, 5 weeks. You lose all of that shit. You're not taking any of that into consideration. Elon Musk didn't fire anybody. Right. So he's just up there with a chainsaw because he likes chainsaws, huh? Somebody said Elon Musk didn't fire anybody. Just on stage waving around the chainsaw, huh? Just having fun. Rob Rocks will go back to the box. And I see the comments. Brett says this channel is, he didn't say ignorant. He said this channel. Now okay, I want to read this. This is funny. Hopefully some of you may not find it that way, but he said this channel is ignorant heaven. This channel is ignorant heaven. So he said he put ignorant, but put the letter N before ignorant. So it is ignorant heaven. All right. I suppose he has a whole lot of black friends and hangs out at many cookouts. Who overseas would want to buy food made by white farmers in America? They're already kind of doing that, Lashana. I mean, soybean and things like that goes to China, that is coming from white-owned farms. I mean, that's kind of already happening. Let's get it. Give me a second there, Mike. I saw one other person I was about to bring up, JB. Politicians should not live in the money that they have while the rest of us suffer. Then you might have a hard time finding politicians. I mean, that's kind of the reason they leave the private sector and become politicians. They can make a lot of money. But if you actually wanted to give them reduction in healthcare and things like that, a lot of them would stay. The best ones would probably remain in the private sector. Charlie, that $40 billion was not a gift. It's a currency swap. I can't see the name. Who did I just bring up?
Hey, this is Leo.
Leo, good evening. So I take it you've been listening in. What inspired you to come on? What am I getting wrong?
Well, I mean, let's put it this way, right? I feel like is there things Trump could be doing that, could make state his case that yes, he's a more peaceful president? Yes, he can, right? Could he be working a little bit better down the aisle with Democrats? Yes, he can. But when you look at what his main goal as a president is,
which is what? What is his main goal? To
defend this country. When you look at immigration, he is doing a 10 out of 10, in my opinion.
Okay, well, you said first to defend this country?
To defend this country 100%.
Okay, I don't see, since he's been president, really anybody that's been a threat to this country. We've been acting more offensive than defensive. I mean, we've been attacking other people, Iran, Syria, Yemen. Now he's in Venezuela. You really believe having the U.S. Navy in the Venezuela, in the Caribbean theater, you think that's necessary? You think it's worth it financially?
So I feel like I don't agree with it, But what I feel he is doing, though, is he is sending a message out to them. Hey, do not join forces with Russia. Do not do this. Do not do that. Do not join forces with China and then attack us. You will later regret it.
He says it's over drugs.
He could just be saying that. What I really feel is this is just a message to people: do not fuck with us. Do not mess with us because we will.
So you do admit that what he's doing in Venezuela may have nothing to do with drugs.
Some of it is, some of it isn't. Now I'm gonna tell you this because this is what I know. My family is from South America, and they have similar problems in Ecuador, where my mother's from.
Okay.
Okay. There are a lot of cartels out there who are behind the scenes, and there are a lot of things, drug problems out there, simply because of the past president that Venezuela had.
I don't doubt that these countries south of the border may be producing drugs, and a lot of it is coming here. But you do realize the drugs that are ingested in America are being ingested voluntarily. You're going to other countries and killing people because they are meeting a demand that's in the United States. You know, they always say that if you ban guns, the criminals will find another way. How about the notion that if you take out Venezuelans, the American drug users are going to just find another way to get high?
So yeah, no, and you know what? Like, and I'm gonna say this. Look, as much as I love where my mother's from, right? I've been there, great country. For the most part. Still, I'm gonna tell you this: any countries with drug problems should not be sending their people here.
Is there a country on the planet that do not have people that have drug problems? That's everywhere.
No, but okay, drug problems, and I would also say like cartel problems, and that is a lot of countries there is, but we need to be able to, we need to be able to take care of ourselves first before we can take care of any other country. And that is making sure that our land, right, is above everything else, right?
But where is the motivation for that? I've heard America first since President Trump became president. We need to take care of ourselves before doing all this and that for other people. We got rid of USAID. We're getting out immigrants that were on the system. We're not helping out the Ukraine. We need to take care of Americans first. Where are all these Americans that are being taken care of? I'm hearing that healthcare premiums are about to go up. They're making it harder to receive SNAP. The things that Americans are getting, they actually are making it harder for Americans to receive help. They're saying America first while not doing a damn thing for Americans. How does that make sense?
So see, this is why I feel like President Trump did so much better in his first term, right? He could, again, like I said, he could be doing things better this term. And that's something that I said at the beginning of the call. But what I know about this administration, right, is what I do like is the fact that they are.
Oh my God! Silver, this is how to go.
I ain't going to say. Let me
go up.
I got another device turned on in the background. Hang on a second. Didn't realize that. Okay, go ahead. I had another device turned on, another two-way radio. But go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. So they are keeping a lot of people who are unvetted out of this country until they can be vetted.
Yeah, but I want to hear about Americans that are being America first. I want to hear about Americans that are being put first and being taken care of by this administration.
Yeah, so I 100% the safety of this country, that is putting America first.
Every president does that. We were told we're going to stop helping out other countries and put America. So America first, only thing that amounts to is just making sure that nobody messes with us militarily. That's all that is.
So here's the thing. I don't really feel like Biden did that, though.
I get that. Biden is not around anymore. And by the way, Biden was not known for saying America first. Trump is. And I'm saying I'm not seeing the America first that he's campaigning and running on. I don't
No, right. But you said every president, but Biden, that's why I said Biden did it.
Well, what do you mean? Because of the border, the immigrants?
Because of the border, they allowed too many people into this country and they came undocumented.
I mean, I get it. I'm not going to defend letting people in the country that are unvetted and undocumented. But right now, considering how many millions of people they claim that came in under Biden, none of them have turned out to be terrorists. None of them have turned out to really be. Listen, there's been a few criminals here or there, but you had just as many criminals on January 6th doing shit. A lot of them folks, because Trump made it sound like they were vermin, poisoning the blood of this nation, they're rapists and murderers. How many illegal immigrants have really been convicted of murdering and raping people? It hasn't been that many because they've been plastering them all over the right-wing media.
So what I'm going to tell you, and again, like I'm not going to state where I live simply because for my protection, but I live near enough where I live in a place where there are a lot of immigrants, where there are a lot of people who have come in here illegally, and who are people.
Let me ask you, are the jails in your area, are the prisons in your area filled with illegal immigrants?
I'm not sure, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay. So, and that's the point I'm making. If these people are as bad as the Trump administration states, our prison system should be loaded with them. The border towns should be the most violent cities in the country. They keep talking about Chicago.
Yeah, and Chicago is one of the most violent.
Yeah, but it ain't. But even in Chicago, it's mostly African American crime. It's not illegal immigrants.
Right, which is correct. But if you let's look at a state such as New York. Let's look at a state such as California, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look, let's focus on California right now.
Okay.
I really feel like California with Newsom is the worst when it comes to illegal immigrants being in there.
I get that there are a lot of illegal immigrants in sanctuary cities and states, but it's still not measuring up to Trump claiming that they are here to rape and murder everybody. California does not have a huge amount of rapists and murderers that are here illegally. Okay, if you want to point out, I don't like that California has a lot of illegal immigrants in this country that have not been vetted. That's one thing. But when you start skipping up to accusing them of committing violent felonies with no proof, how does that work? He's claiming that they're rapists and murderers. I'm not seeing that.
So when you have they been doing it recently? No, because they know that Trump is in office. But let's look at some of the past, though, right? Like when you look at people such as Laken Riley, right? Let's look at that situation, for example. And then there were 3 other people.
Well, you're telling me, wait, you're telling me millions of immigrants have come to this country, and you can kind of name the ones that have done something wrong on one hand to the point where you actually can name the person's victim. That don't sound like they're doing that much bad. Listen, I'm from Chicago. If I had to name all the black people in Chicago that are committing major felonies, I wouldn't be able to give you names. The fact that you can give names like that makes it clear the illegal immigrants are not committing a lot of crimes. They're not doing that.
So I am also someone, right, who I have had this happen to me. I lost a friend who was unalived by an illegal immigrant. So yeah, this to someone who says opinion only, not facts. No, this is facts. No. I had a friend of mine who got into a car accident, and the person who unalived him was
I'm not saying what you're saying is false. I believe what you're saying, but what I'm responding with is when you're looking for problems to demonize a whole community of people, you're going to find what one or two people did, and therefore, like what Trump found in Minnesota with the Somalis. That is only a few people that were involved in that fraud, and he's demonizing the whole Somali community. You only had one Afghani that tried to take out 2 National Guardsmen in DC, killing one. He used that one action from that one person to demonize the whole Afghan community. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%, and I don't agree with that. 100. I don't agree with them. Now let me tell you, I don't agree.
Do you agree that sounds kind of racist?
I wouldn't sound racist, but I wouldn't say racist, but I would say it is wrong.
Okay, what's the difference between being wrong and racist? If you're going to demonize the whole community based on the actions of 1 or 2 people,
I would say that is more prejudice than racist.
We're getting close. We don't went from wrong to prejudice. We're heading in the right direction. Okay, what's the difference between being prejudiced, chastising or punishing the whole community for the actions of one, and being racist? I mean, listen, I don't see.
Okay, so being racist, right, is going based off someone's race, right? So basically someone's skin color, etc.
Okay.
Someone who is prejudiced is someone who goes and will judge someone based off what they believe, etc., like someone's religion, etc.
I don't know, if you're judging them negatively, like saying their whole country stinks or calling them garbage, you would admit that sounds hateful towards that group of people, right?
That's what I'm sorry.
If you're suggesting that somebody's whole country stinks, or that you're calling the entire group of people garbage, you would admit that is sounding like you're speaking hatefully towards that group of people, right?
Correct, but that's not racist, though.
Okay, but it's hate. Okay, fair enough. It's not racism. It's hate. We'll take hate for 200. I don't mind taking hate. You're admitting it's hate. That's close enough. I think we've moved the needle close enough that I don't need you to say racism. If you're saying so, in other words, Trump is governing with a fair amount of hate as part of his decision making.
Right, and you know what? Yeah, as a someone who did vote for him, right? I'm gonna tell you, like I told you, there are some things where I feel like he could be doing better.
You give him a 10. You're admitting the guy is governing based on hate to some degree, but you gave him a 10 out of 10. Is hate a deal breaker for you?
So when I gave him a 10 out of 10, let me answer this question first, right? When I'm giving him a 10 out of 10 is out of immigration, out of keeping us safe, right? Making sure that people are not coming over here and attacking us domestically. Mm-hmm. That has not happened since he had in this term.
Did it happen under Biden?
Yeah.
Who attacked us domestically? What are you saying? Who attacked us domestically under Biden?
Okay, so when you look at people, I feel like when illegal or when undocumented immigrants come into this country and to this soil, and they attack our people, that is domestic.
Okay, so this Afghan national that was given the right to stay in this country this past April under the Trump administration, and now he's went on to shoot 2 National Guardsmen, killing one. Do you blame that on Trump not defending the nation? Because Trump's administration is the reason he was allowed to stay. He came in 2021 under Biden, but Trump's administration could have sent him away. They approved and let him stay, and he tried to kill 2 people. Do you blame that on Trump?
So yeah, I will admit this, right?
I'm just trying to figure out where the 10 out of 10 is coming from. That's all I'm trying to do.
That is what it's coming from. It's making sure that, again, I just told you, it's making sure that illegals are not coming into this country when they shouldn't be.
But
right?
you just had a guy approved to stay that went on to kill people. By the way, you do realize some of the January 6th protesters that Trump pardoned have they've also went on to commit felonies against other people. I believe one of them died in a shootout with police. How is he making it safer? I mean, he's pardoning people that are from this country that are violent.
So, okay, let me ask you this question. I have seen videos. I have had really good friends of mine who were marching on January 6th.
That's what they were doing.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
I know people who were in the Capitol building. I know people who were arrested. So my point about this is that there have been videos of actual people confronting the police about not defending the actual Capitol building and letting people in. How do you feel about that?
I feel that the police that let people in the Capitol building, while the other side of the building was clearly being overrun, which means their walkie-talkies featured people screaming, "I need backup on the other side." So if you're letting people in the Capitol building, it's one or two things. Either you're afraid because you think you're going to be overran by the people there, so you're just standing down and letting them come in, or you believe they're fighting a good fight, and you're letting them in because you think they're doing what needs to be done, which means you're an undercover Capitol police officer that's acting on behalf of MAGA. I believe that every Capitol police officer that was caught on video letting people in should have to testify before Congress for why they stood down, because they all knew at least half the building was being overrun. That's not the time to give tours or let people in the building unrestricted. You know half of this building is being overran. Why the hell are you letting people in? So same thing when what is her name? Ashley Babbitt was taken out. There were Capitol Police standing there while they were breaking the windows that she later tried to climb through. They were standing down. I believe they were fearful that they were going to be overran. That's what I believe, but I do believe they should also have to testify before Congress. But they didn't just let them people in and give a tour when the other half of the building was being overrun. Does that make sense?
It does. So they were fearful. Okay. Well, as a policeman, as security guard, one of the biggest buildings in the country. If you're going to be fearful, then you shouldn't have that job. That's just my opinion.
I mean, we see what happened in Uvalde. They stood down. We see what happened in Parkland when children were getting shot. I mean, cops are human beings. If you know you're outgunned and overran, a lot of cops are going to say, fuck this job, fire me. I make 70, 80 grand a year. I'm not going to die for this shit. Go ahead and fire. I got to move it on, though. Come on back anytime. But yeah, I agree with you. They should be terminated, but faced with death, a lot of them wouldn't care. Thanks for coming on. And
Tim, one more thing. Can I say one last thing?
Real quick.
All right, Tim, I want to say thank you for giving us a voice, and thank you for giving everyone on both sides of the aisle a voice.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
And you changed that 10 out of 10. I'm not saying it should be a 1, but a 10 out of 10 is too fucking high. I'll talk to you next time. Tap the screen, folks. Get the likes on up to 60,000. Karma's a bitch says later, comrade. I don't know. Mike, I saw you in the comments saying that my chat is set to something sub. I don't know how that happened. I've been trying to turn it off and I don't see how to do that. I didn't know it was even turned on. So because we did not, I wanted everybody to be able to speak. So I'll bring up the next guest and I'll continue seeing if I can figure out how to get that corrected. The person who made that comment, how dumb. Sticky Fingers, good evening, referring to my last caller. Oh, wow. Thank you, Cutting Edge. I apologize for not seeing this earlier, but appreciate your support. Says the enemy is inside too. Dearborn, Michigan, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Dallas, Texas. They use every money. CIA used money of cartels for decades ago. Yeah. Plus, the memorandum of the Muslim Brotherhood is the big plan. I'm not quite getting that part. What do you mean the memorandum of the Muslim Brotherhood is the big plan? Now, I know a lot of folks believe that there's this push to make America bow under Sharia law or something like that. I know Texas Governor Greg Abbott tried to pass. I think he may have passed a law that Sharia law can. I don't see that. I don't think there's nowhere near enough Muslims in this country. Look, you can't. Look, this is a Christian-based country, and a hell of a lot of Christians don't even follow their own damn religion. I don't think you're going to force Sharia law on a country that's Christian-based. I don't see that happening. But look, I know there's a lot of hatred towards that community. So people are going to make it sound like they're going way above and beyond. Maybe in Dearborn, you may have a lot of Muslims trying to do something, but nationwide, that's not going to happen. That is absolutely not going to happen. It ain't nowhere near enough for them here to get Sharia law. And I will also say this: I do believe that if you gave many Muslims complete freedom, they wouldn't even want to follow that stuff, because a lot of different variations of the Muslim religion is too oppressive. Just like Christianity, if it gets too far to the right, it's too oppressive. That's why a lot of the younger generation don't follow Christianity either. It's too oppressive. So I can't, as oppressive as Sharia law is, I don't think you're going to find a lot of Americans that would be on board with that. That would have to be done by force. Let me go back to the box. What about white Muslims? Shit, how many of them are there? How many white Muslims do we have in this country? Like I said, I'm agreeing with JPT Farms. It's scare tactics. I don't think we're in any, not even at a mild risk of Sharia law grabbing hold in America. I don't even think there's a mild risk of that. But if you can gin up a bunch of fear towards that community, that may be a win for some people. Just like with the Afghans. I mean, how many Afghans came over here from Afghanistan under the Biden administration? One dude. And you got folks that are now fearful to the whole population. So the victory is ginning up hate. That's all it really is. Mike, good evening.
What up, Tim?
I'm in the trenches tonight, man. I'm in the trenches because Gangsta Grandma started it out, but Trump has seized an oil tanker. I'm sure you've heard of that. but I'm going to defend Trump because there was a warrant out for this oil tanker. The suggestion was, wait a minute, the suggestion was that this oil tanker was en route to Iran and they were going to use that money to fund terrorism. Tell me Trump did not do a good job by stopping it.
When did the warrant come out, Tim?
It's been out for at least a few weeks, has it not?
So let me get this straight. You so full of shit.
Why?
So let me get this straight. You're trying to give credibility to a warrant that was issued a few weeks ago by this administration for a Venezuela tanker? Is that what you're asking?
If the tanker was headed to a country that's known to fund terrorism, he stopped that from happening and commandeered it.
That?
Huh?
What country was that?
Iran.
What country was that?
Iran.
They said it was headed to Cuba, Tim.
I also heard Iran.
No. The guy behind you on the fucking screen, them ding dongs, they said it was headed to Cuba.
Well, we're not exactly friends with Cuba either.
So you so full of shit tonight. You know what? I should give my time back to Gangsta Grandma. See, I'm just saying. That's it. So first of all, let's be clear. They said it was headed to Cuba. That's number one. Number two, you expect us to trust a warrant from this administration on Venezuela or anything Venezuela? Is that what you're asking us to believe now? Listen, I stand. Did you see Marjorie Taylor Greene say what we've been saying for over 2 years now? When Trump was talking about
which one?
A recent one where she was interviewed and she was talking about how Trump is gaslighting the American people. Groceries aren't cheaper. Yeah, did you see that one? Yeah, I saw it, but I'm going to say that I'm going to throw back at you what you just said. Do you trust a warrant coming from Venezuela from this administration? Is Marjorie Taylor Greene, who literally fueled all of the fire that's now burning her ass, is she trustworthy to be a firefighter? She is the arsonist that's complaining about the fire that she is probably the biggest person that helped start. I'm not trusting her to put out the fire, but if she says it's hot, then she's basically telling us what we already know. It's fucking hot. Yeah. So I'm not giving her any kudos because you know how I feel about her. But it's just the ironic part is what she said is what we've been talking about and is exactly what's happening. So I found that interesting. But before we get to,
I don't think you needed her. I'll let you continue, but I don't think we needed her. I think even MAGA, because Trump gave himself an A+++ on the economy, and I've had MAGA on my. I don't even think MAGA gives Trump an A++. I think they all agree the economy is nowhere near an A+++, as he said. So even MAGA don't agree with that. Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't need to tell you that. MAGA knows he's being. I want to say facetious. MAGA knows he's not being honest about the economy.
Would you just say he's lying and quit fucking fluffing and
He's exaggerating. He's exaggerating.
I need to get you some hammer pants because your ass, boy,
he's exaggerating. How about that?
No, he's lying. But listen,
have you seen
MAGA Reacts lately? Have you seen MAGA Reacts?
Was he in there? No, not tonight. I think he was on last night.
I didn't see you on here last night because I've been meaning to talk to MAGA Reacts about the results of the Miami mayor election.
Den Kell and many others. He actually admitted that he was shocked to see that happen because he thought that the Miami citizens were still on the Trump train because he lives in Miami. And he's like, we're still on the Trump train down here. He actually admitted that turnaround was shocking to him. We did talk to him about that.
Now, this is funny. Okay, and maybe you guys didn't go as far as I'm about to go. Not only has he been wrong, not only has he been lying about what's going on down in Miami, or either completely so unaware that he should never get up here and try to debate that position because he's been so out of touch with it that he didn't see that coming. Because if you have a community that he says, oh, we're fine down here, well, you can't be fine if you look at his numbers. If your approval rating matches your MAGA support, you're not doing very fucking well.
Well, but let's be clear. I mean, Trump and MAGA for certain, but Trump has convinced MAGA that you really can't trust poll numbers unless they're favorable.
Well, here at the end of the day, he can say what he wants, but first time in over 30 years that Miami has had
that's telling
leadership.
Not only that, I mean, obviously we've seen a host of elections going back to Virginia's governor and all this stuff, but what you're talking about in Miami, now what just happened in Indiana this evening with a bunch of Republicans siding with the Democrats to prevent the gerrymandering. Is there cracks in the foundation? Is that what we're seeing?
I've been telling you there's been listen, I've been on this train for at least 2 months. I told you that. I told you after Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned, there would be another one before the end of the year. Well, that's happened. And when MAGA Reacts was talking about Florida, yeah, not so much because he's lost that Hispanic vote. So Miami just showed that in the results of that election. And I'm not even going to say that the Republicans in Indiana are siding with the Democrats, right? I'm not going to go that far.
No, they're not. They want to. They're conservative. They just don't want to be on record as cheap. You can't be in favor of stop the steal in 2020 and then be okay with this. So I think that's what they're looking at it like. They're like, we want to win, but we don't want to cheat to win. Obviously, Greg Abbott in Texas didn't have any problem with it.
No, and here's the thing. I believe that Indiana was on board with it at first, if you remember.
Yeah, they were.
When they were talking about.
So what the fuck happened?
What I've been telling you, Tim. Once you see one person stand up to the bully, the people behind you are getting more confident that they're willing to stand up to the bully because they see that he barked at you, but you're okay. Or when you didn't back down and he didn't move forward either. You see, he's talked bad about Marjorie.
Yeah, but she's out of a fucking. Wait a minute. You're saying that you stood up and he backed down and you're okay. She's out of a job, Mike. I mean, who stood up against Trump and they still is in office? I mean, if you stand up against Trump, you're going to get primaries. You're going to get death threats. You might have to. It ain't good. That's why people don't stand up against him.
No, I didn't say it was good, but I'm saying that people start to feel like they want to be. They're tired of standing down, and then people start pushing back. You see one person push back, and you go, "Oh, okay." Then another person pushes back. But I'm telling you, Tim, I still think some of these people that voted for him were afraid of him, and they are typical rhinos.
I don't know about the rhino thing, but
I'm sorry. Let me back up because that's not what I meant. They are traditional Republicans for the most part. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I believe that. But if you don't back Trump, fuck your Republican. You're a rhino. I mean, if you're either MAGA or you're a rhino or a Democrat, that's what they kind of believe. But I do agree with you. There's a whole lot of fear for President Trump. That's where a lot of this is coming from, because I don't believe that all of these folks believe a lot of things they're backing, like the big beautiful bill. If you're going to a town hall and the people that elected you are cussing you out, then you know the big beautiful bill is not good. At least it's not good for you, and they're still going with it. So there's a lot of fear involved in it. I agree with that.
It is, and some people deal with it differently. Some people get. I think when you put people in where they perceive it's fight or flight, some people will flee and some people will fight, and then that will to fight will start to spread. One of those will start to spread amongst the people that are in the same position.
So you're seeing a lot more resignations.
I'm seeing more resignations. I'm seeing more people stand up the way they stand up, like Indiana standing up and saying, "No, we're good." And then what did Trump do? He came right out and said, "I hope he loses." Right? I hope he loses. So now what you're giving them is comfort to say, "I guess we were right."
Yeah, and that is the thing, is that when they don't follow Trump's direction and then he attacks them, you give them incentive to then be even more resistant. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, okay, she didn't do what you wanted, so now you attacking her. So now you kind of left her with nothing to lose. And I see one of my viewers is saying, Clyde has said she doesn't care. She still was smiling all the way to the bank because she's supposed to, but she could have made a lot more money if she had stayed in. But go ahead.
But the money isn't always. Yeah, she is smiling all the way to the bank, but I don't believe her decision. And I'm not a Marjorie Taylor Greene fan. Let's be clear. But I don't think her decision was based on her bank account as much as her political future long term.
I don't think that money is safe, Mike. I think that if she made money, if she made money through insider trading and shit like that, Trump will throw her under the bus and demand Pam Bondi prosecute her in a minute. You may start seeing that. You may start seeing Trump posting tweets or messages like, she's leaving with $25 million. I'm kind of wondering where she got that from. Maybe Pam Bondi needs to have an investigation. It would not surprise me if Trump tried to prosecute Marjorie Taylor Greene for that money, because she didn't get it legally. She got that shit from insider trading.
Wouldn't surprise me either, but that's a slippery slope for all of them, because, here's the thing. You go after her, even if she was guilty, she could easily turn witness. She can easily turn state's witness.
Yeah, but he can respond by simply saying, "I can pardon who you fucking with." Understand that. Your ass take this fall, but you can go after who you want. Understand, I'm going to let them all out. So you ain't going you can go there and stand before the judge all you want. The minute he gives a sentence, I'm going to let them out.
And again, he could do that, but what it does is it furthers to submit fractures in what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
They have to be careful if they care, but to your point, I don't think they care. I don't really think they care. I think that there's so many fractures. I told you this from the very beginning. I think they're trying to insulate themselves because they are not anticipating.
How do we get past? How do we heal this shit? I mean, this stuff is going to be around for a while. I mean, like, certainly with the Republican Party, their relationship with Hispanics, Muslims. I think the only minority group they really haven't hurt themselves with significantly is probably black people, I guess, because Black MAGA still exists. I don't know if there's any Hispanics for Trump anymore.
Yeah, Black MAGA ain't shit. Yeah, I see.
But what I'm saying is, though, how do we, I mean, is it going to be, I used the example a few days ago, kind of like a bar or a club where there's a lot of fighting. So the only way the bar can stay open, they have to change the name because the old name is associated with all the violence. Do the Republican Party have to change their name going forward? Because Hispanics and immigrants coming to this country, they're going to be passing that shit down to their family generation after generation about what the Republican Party did to immigrants in 2025. For decades. That's what the ICE and all of the videos, just like you got the photos of, sheriffs sicking dogs on black girls in the 50s and 60s. That stuff is going to live on.
100%. And I truly believe that. Well, so you asked me the first question. The first question is, how do we fix? Just like anything else, just like when we talk about racism, racism isn't for black people to fix, it's for white people to fix. If the Republican Party wants to get their party back, Republicans need to fix it. One of the ways they can do it is to have enough resignations, people to stand up and resign, so they don't have the majority.
That ain't
5 more seats.
I don't know if that's
5
gonna
more
happen.
seats. Well, here's the thing, and I'm not sure it's gonna happen, but I'm not sure it's not either.
But even if the politicians resign, a lot of the politicians are doing what the will of the Republican voters are. I mean, how many Republican voters, when they see ICE out there in mass, grabbing folks, this is what I voted for. So even if you get rid of the Republican politicians, the Republican voters are just going to get you some more of them because that's what they want.
Again, Tim, if you believe the polls, the legitimacy of the polls, and he's in the 30s, that coalition that was there 11 months ago isn't there. The base is there, yeah, but he couldn't win with just the base anyway.
True.
So it's not like the base is enough for him to do all the things he needs to do. You need to have people that will just capitulate, and he's had that. What I'm saying is, if any of these people grow a spine or a backbone for whatever their motivation is to not be in that moment where their vote is counted to move this shit forward, that's enough. It's a 2018, 2014, 218, 214 in the Congress right now, right? Or something
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's only like a 3-seat margin, 4-seat margin. So my point is, you got to have 218 to have the majority. You're only 1 seat away from that right now.
Yeah.
So you just one person or 2 people say they're resigning, and you don't have the majority anymore.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he's not using them very often to move, but that's what
right. I mean, Congress ain't even necessary. He's pretty much operating by. He'll probably go. I mean, has there been any? I guess they said FDR. Who else has used more executive orders than Trump? I mean, FDR served like 4 fucking terms. So I mean, but other than Trump, he certainly has had to use more executive orders than any president in our lifetime. He's been governing by executive order.
Right. And here's the thing, and that was by design, by Project 2025, flood the zone, all that shit that they talked about. And so, but what we're talking about at the end of the day, Tim, some people, maybe they stand up, maybe they don't. But you just had another election the other day where a state seat got flipped in Georgia. You saw that, right?
I think I heard about it.
Yeah, so they lost that one. I don't even know if they lost the other one, but they lost one.
Well, one of them, it was close, but the Republicans still won.
That was the other one, but the other one they won. The Democrats won.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is, all of these things, and then here's the thing. Their slogan has been, tired of winning, tired of winning. Well, it's not what we're seeing right now.
Not right. Well, tired of winning. It's been most of Trump's time in power. I mean, Trump has done a lot of winning, but yeah, as of late, now Trump himself, court cases, impeachments, he does keep winning. You hear Fonnie Willis's case just got thrown out the other day, so he does win. The problem is the people around him are not winning.
Yeah, but you just heard that they declined to indict Letitia James.
That was, look. That whole, because that was Trump's claim, is that Biden was weaponizing the DOJ. That shit they were doing with Letitia James, that's like the definition of weaponizing the government. I mean, what they were going after her for, even if they got a conviction, wasn't going to be much. What they, it wasn't. Mortgage fraud at that level, I think like 17 grand. I mean, it was something way down in the fucking weeds. And they're spending tons of money trying to prosecute her for that.
Well, again, Tim, I mean, these aren't victories. Matter of fact, the federal court just told them
that's not a victory
to release Kilmar Abreu Garcia today. You saw that too, right?
That dude, and I said that dude is going to one day receive a large settlement from the U.S. government. It may not be under the Trump administration. That dude has a large settlement coming his way from the U.S. government. Eventually, if he puts in a lawsuit, once Trump is out of office, if that dude puts in a lawsuit against the U.S. government, he's going to make a lot of money. Kilmar Abreu Garcia has a lot of money coming his way.
A lot coming his way. And for what, right? So for what? And so that's just another layer of what I'm talking about.
To make a point.
I think, yeah, I know. And I think when they talk about fatigue, I do think there's a subset of this country that is getting fatigued by the Trump administration, including some people that voted for him. Now I'm gonna tell you, and I am seeing it, and on this app,
I'm seeing it too. I am finally up. I still ain't seeing it from Black MAGA is still overwhelmingly happy with him, but I am starting to see. I mean, even the Jeremys and stuff are coming. I mean, Jeremy's no fan of Trump anymore. That was a big change. He changed a few weeks back, but I mean, yeah, I'm starting to see it as well.
Well, and here's the thing. And I told you about these I told you that they were going to be the last ones going down with the MAGA ship. I told you that. I told you what. Do you remember the analogy I gave you?
No.
I said, it's like the Titanic is MAGA. And them motherfuckers was sitting there playing at the band with Black MAGA.
Yeah, you did say that. You did say that.
Yeah. And when it goes in the water, they're going to be Jack, and them white MAGA supporters is Rose. They're going to be on that board like, ain't no room for you up here. Ain't no room for you up here.
Well, I think you're going to see more cracks in the foundation in January when the big beautiful bill, when healthcare and all that stuff becomes a reality. That's going to be a 5-alarm fire when people's premiums jump up like they're talking about, because they don't have anything in place to stop that right now. That's something that people can't even afford to pay 1 month of. So you don't have no time to fix that. You got to fix that immediately. If your healthcare costs triple or quadruple for your insurance premium, you got to fix. I can't even afford to pay the first one of these. You got to fix this immediately, and they don't have anything on the drawing board.
Exactly, and so if I'm used to paying $400 and it was tight and now it's $800, how many months can I get by before something doesn't get paid? So if people
immediately, in many cases, it's going to be the first month ain't going to be able to be paid.
That's right. And so then what happens? But let me say this. Let me say this, Tim. I just want to be clear about this. When people, and again, these same people, once they start, and I've seen a lot of people start quote unquote waking up. Now you have to figure out, I've said this about the Constitution. It was written by white men, for white men, and the guardrails were put in place because to protect them against white men. Right?
Wait, say that again.
The Constitution was written by white men.
Okay.
For white men.
True.
And the guardrails that were in the Constitution were written to protect. If it was written by white men for white men, who were the guardrails put in place for?
Everybody else.
But again, no one else had rights when they wrote it. It was just them. Yeah. So the guardrails were in there for them. They understood who they were because they knew if they didn't put them in, the people they wrote it for would take advantage of it. It wasn't for anybody else but white men.
True.
So this MAGA movement and Trump, the very thing you saw on J6, that's not out of the question once they all wake up and see what the hell's going on right now. This big beautiful bill will be a big thing because they're starting to run out of answers. Let me give you a perfect example. I heard some people this morning talking about the oil tanker for Venezuela. Trump supporters completely against that shit, regardless of what they told us, because you can't say we're being covert about what was on the boats that were boom booming, but then have a live video showing us how you're boarding this oil tanker. The people are, you can only go so far where people start going, that makes no fucking sense. It was a production going on to this oil tanker. Do you know that they were playing the music from LL Cool J? Mama said, knock you out. And he said, hey, stop playing my shit. Did you know that?
I mean, there's a lot of things that I think even MAGA knows that Trump is saying that makes no sense, such as you're fighting against drugs coming in this country, but then you pardon a major drug kingpin. I mean, it's obvious some of the things that he's doing is not making sense, but I think the love and adoration for Trump is so strong that it's just like if you really love your child, you're kind of willing to overlook shit. You be in prison meeting your kid and still overlooking the fact of what he did to get himself in prison. I think that's what's going on here, is that the love for Trump is so strong that, look, at least it ain't Biden, at least it ain't Kamala Harris, is kind of the mindset.
And you know what? You're starting to see that wane a little bit. You're starting to see that wane. And again, you're not going to move people in the cold. Not even worried about them. And that Hispanic vote is gone. And do you think that he still has the same gains in the black community? You think he has the same gains he had before this election now in the black community?
What do you mean gains?
Black voters? Gains. So
no. You said because he did better In 2024, you know, he took a lot of votes from the Democrats in 2024. No, he's lost probably most of that stuff back.
Right. And so if he's lost most of that back as it stands today, and you get people resigning, and again, I think, and the reason I keep bringing up Marjorie Taylor Greene is because she has a subset of voters that are listening, and just like they say Democrats stayed home in this last election, I think in midterms you're gonna see a lot of people on that side. They're not gonna vote Democrat. That's not what I'm saying.
They're not gonna vote at all.
They're not gonna vote at all. They're gonna stay their ass at home with their MAGA hat on backwards. Listen, Tim, when they started putting videos on TikTok with people showing them burning MAGA hats,
I remember those.
I was watching the hands of the lighter. I was watching to see the color of the hand that was holding the lighter or holding the match, because that says a lot, you know. And the bottom line is, it's still going to get worse before it gets better. But I think some people are just like, I can't defend this shit no more.
Well, we got another year to the midterms and then 2 more years of Trump. I got to move it on, Mike. I don't know if we're going to
Miami, except for Miami. Miami's MAGA Reacts. Where you at? Where you at? I got a song for you.
He may be in here. I gotta go. Oh my Lord. Appreciate it. Looking in the comments, someone asked, do you want to be socialist, says Laura. I don't listen. No, I don't look. I don't want to be socialist. I want to be a hybrid. I don't want to be full on capitalist. Capitalism, if you have genuine capitalism, you wouldn't want shit to do with it. You want to dial 911 and the police itemize everything they did for you when they showed up. We showed up to your house and you said you had a burglar. We had to shoot him. We charged $300 per bullet, you know, and the price of gas to get to your. That's what capitalism is about. The reason you don't pay for 911 calls is socialism. You can be dirt poor and you still have access to 911. There's a whole lot of things that you enjoy that would not be around if it was total socialism. I prefer a hybrid system. I don't want to let the capitalists run any more wild than you're suggesting the socialists would run, because capitalism can get out of control as well. That's why you've never had, I won't say never, but that's why you haven't had a minimum wage increase for 20 some odd years. The capitalists are capitalizing on the fact that they can pay off politicians and keep you down. That's why unions are breaking up. That's capitalism. They're capitalizing off of opportunities, being politicians that can be bought out, that is hurting the working class. I don't like that kind of capitalism. I'd rather have socialist laws in place that require the minimum wage to go up with inflation. So there are plenty of areas where socialism is necessary, and there's areas where I would prefer some capitalism. But I don't want either one to be the dominant system where it can just run on its own without any type of restraint. Because unchecked capitalism is no better than any socialism, communism, or any of the other things you're talking about. It is no better than any of that other shit. Real quick in the comments, Solo says, I will never vote for universal health care. Federal government already takes enough of my money, and I'm not willing to pay for your health care. You're paying for the healthcare of a lot of foreign countries. You're paying for military for other countries. I mean, like, for instance, us getting involved in the Israeli-Gaza conflict. I'd rather pay for you to have healthcare than to pay to help Israel fight a war. There's a ton of shit you're paying for. The first thing you can think of that you don't want your money spent on is helping out your fellow neighbor, huh? Out of everything that we waste money on, I don't want to fucking help my neighbor when he's sick. Now you've crossed the line. I'm okay with sending money over here or there, or doing, helping give Trump a new ballroom or refurbishing a Qatar jet. But goddamn it, if you get sick, I don't want a damn penny of my tax money to go to you. You realize how that sounds? I mean, you got gold on the wall in the Oval Office. You think your tax money didn't go to purchasing that gold, or at the very least, putting it on the wall in the Oval Office? But if somebody gets sick, I don't want any of my money to go to that. All right. Looking in the comments says, this man looks like he can tell you exactly. Oh my God. I don't know what the name is. That made no sense. Talking about crayons. That's what I'm going to have to get, because my plan is going from $120 to $450 since the subsidies end. That's going to have to be corrected immediately. That, I mean, the outcry to that is going to be so great that's where you may start getting your Republican resignations, because if under Trump people's premiums skyrocket like that and they remain like that, you're going to have a lot of Republican Congress and Senate like, it makes no sense for me to even run in November. He's fucked it up so bad by doing that. It makes no sense to even run. One side was offering to give me free health care. This dude comes along and my health care premiums triple. I think the choice is already made. It doesn't matter about LGBTQ and all this other shit. This is affecting you specifically. So that's where you might start really seeing resignations if they don't correct it. But I think the Trump administration will correct that. I mean, the outcry and the anger is going to be pretty strong when people's health care premiums go up like that. Brad, good evening. Welcome to the program. I'm not okay with helping someone who isn't productive to society. The problem is if you don't help them out, they become worse. Okay, you're saying, let's say a person is sitting around on welfare and they're not working. So I don't want to help them out with their healthcare costs. So they get sick. So they go to the ER. The ER is going to charge them a lot more to deal with them than being able to go to urgent care or a regular doctor for appointments. So who do you think is going to pay for that ER visit? You are. You're going to pay for it no matter. You can either pay a little or you can pay a lot. You only go to the ER when you got a serious emergency, stroke, heart attack, or something like that. But if you were allowed to go and get prescriptions and keep your high blood pressure in check, you may not have to go when you had a stroke or when you had a heart attack or some major event that's going to cost significantly more to deal with. But you didn't want to help them out with their regular doctor's visits. You wanted it to go all the way to the ER. Well, now you got to pay for the ER. So I don't see where you're saving any money at all. That makes no sense to me. And then, of course, if the person becomes disabled, now you're paying for them for life. Be the same people climbing through the windows to get it. Real quick in the comment, I tried to bring up another guest. We're moving on. $300 million for the Oval Office is wasteful spending. Trump is doing a whole lot of things that is, to me, refurbishing that jet from Qatar. While you're telling the citizens you only need 2 pencils, you only need 2 dolls, your daughter doesn't need a bunch of dolls at Christmas time. You got Air Force One. You don't need this Qatar jet and the cost that comes along with getting it up to par. You don't need that. You got a perfectly functioning aircraft in Air Force One. And there's one being built. There is a new Air Force One being built. You don't need to fly this jet in the interim. You don't need this. You're telling the people to cut back while you're being excessive? We'll see. He said, what happened to Elena Hobbit? She ended up, I think she got cut from, she's still part of the Trump administration. She got put in somewhere else. I forgot how that worked. You're talking about Elena Hobbit, though. You do when you have I don't know what that means, because he gets to keep the jet. Yeah, but he's keeping the jet at America's expense. And I do believe Trump is going to keep that jet. I don't buy into the notion that somehow, some way that jet's going to be in the Smithsonian or some other bullshit. When Trump leaves the White House and he no longer has access to Air Force One, you think he's going to put that jet in the Smithsonian somewhere? No, that's going to become his practice. You think he's going to go back to that 20-some-odd-year-old 777 that he has? He's not going to go back to flying that shit. That jet with all the old manual instrumentation they were talking. No, he's going to, that Qatar jet, bigger, better, luxurious, that's what he's going to be flying. And MAGA's going to be okay with it. MAGA's going to be okay. They'll tell you now he's going to do this. When it's time to leave, they're going to say, look, for all the shit he's did for this country, he's taking a bullet for this country, he should get the jet. And they're going to defend it. Let me go back to the box. Don't know why I'm having trouble bringing up guests. Let's try it again. Batman. The new Air Force One should have been delivered to Biden. Well, there is some delay on getting the new Air Force One built. That's why Trump went for the Qatar jet. Batman, good evening.
Tim, I didn't request to be up, man. Why you pull me up, sir?
Because you were in the group. I'll drop you. All right, moving on. Listen, if it shows me, I seen who was coming in there, so I didn't send him an invite. He was in there. We'll go to Jeremy. Good evening, Jeremy. Welcome to the program. We need the jet. Boeing has had the contract for years to complete the new Air Force One. They are not making. I mean, they're not moving. We can't make decisions on what someone might do. We don't need the jet, though. Christy, I think that says we need the jet. Why? Why do we need that? There's plenty of other. We have Air Force One. There are plenty of other countries that have smaller aircraft to fly their presidents around. We don't need that. It's just an upgrade. It ain't needed. Jeremy, good evening.
Stop. Collaborate and listen. Trump is back with a brand new eviction, and if something goes to hold of you nice and tightly, those are my agents daily and nightly. What's up, baby? How you doing?
None. What the fuck was all that MC Hammer about?
Oh, that's all. I just had a little song stuck in my head. That's all. Don't worry. It just, you know what?
I don't know what to say about that. So
yeah, I'm not. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, he don't seize the boat off the coast of Venezuela. Good thing or bad?
I don't really know, and I haven't read enough into it. And I'm just hearing about it just now from you. But if there was already as you were saying to Michael the bitch, if there was already some kind of warrant out for it, then yeah, I think it makes sense that we would stop it. Yeah. Why not?
The problem is it could be an act of war. I don't think Venezuela is going to strike us, but you can't just be seizing people's shit. But let me ask you, I was talking about that Qatar jet a minute ago. One of my viewers is saying Trump is not going to fly that 747. His plane alone costs like $12,000 an hour to operate. Can you imagine what a 747 costs per hour? Do you believe that Qatar jet, when Trump leaves the White House, is going to stay behind, or you think he will still continue to operate it?
He's not going to have the Qatar jet because they're not going to let him.
Who's they?
Whoever's in charge of that, because Trump can't just unilaterally just take it. There's definitely got to be some kind of procedure for that.
You're telling me you think you can depend on Congress to stop him?
Yeah. They're not going to let him have it.
So where does it go then?
Well, it just stays in Qatar.
What? That's not true. If they gave it to us and we don't outfit it to the point where it's safe for a president, we can't give it back because then it gives all the secrets and shit away. It's not going back to Qatar.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Hey, Debo, listen, I know you're an internet tough guy, but you ain't going to do shit. Anyway, sorry, Ethan, what were you saying?
Once we outfit that Qatar jet to make it safe enough for a U.S. president to be on, that means it's got all kinds of secrets. It's got air defense, all kinds of shit on it. It's not going back to Qatar. We're not going to give that back. We're going to spend millions of dollars to take all that shit out. They're not going to give it back.
We'll probably just demo it then at that point.
Oh, my God. That's even worse. So, in other words, he only has three. So, we're going to spend millions and millions on a jet and then just trash it in 3 years.
Yeah, I didn't say it was a good idea to make this jet our own anyway. So it's just a stupid idea anyway. Never supported it.
So it is a waste of money.
Yeah, it's a fucking waste of money. Now, when it's not the same as the ballroom. The ballroom's fine. Plenty of presidents have remodeled the White House before. Anyone who bitches about that is just a bitch themselves.
Well, wait a minute, because there would be a lot of MAGA bitches if Obama did this. Let me just say it this way.
But that doesn't make them right.
No, but I'm just simply saying it would happen from both sides. But here's the problem why I believe people are bitching. The economy sucks right now. We're discussing the fact that healthcare premiums and shit are about to go up in less than a month. Why buying a ballroom right now is not reading the room right. I get what you're saying about a ballroom. I'm not disagreeing. Instead of putting up tents and shit like that to invite dignitaries, it would be nice to have a stationary ballroom. But you don't do it when the economy's fucked up.
Yeah, I can see that, but even then, there's so many more priorities beyond that.
The economy is a priority.
What?
The economy is a priority.
I know, but there's so many other priorities that we have that could help our economy that are more important than remodeling a fucking ballroom. That's not a big deal.
Okay, so in other words, the ballroom is not a big deal in your opinion, but you agree with me. They could have waited, or they shouldn't have done it right now.
Yeah, or they should have said, instead of sending this money to Israel or to Ukraine, we're going to keep it here, and we're going to use it to spend on the ballroom. That would have made more sense.
I just believe that before you add this huge luxurious item to your house, you should make sure other Americans can afford to even own one. I mean, you're actually adding shit on to your house, while we know that Americans are getting to the point now where they can't even buy a house until they're 40. It seems insensitive.
I mean, like it is a little bit, but again, and there are bigger fish to fry. I would rather have one ballroom get reconstructed and have no money going to foreign aid whatsoever than have like zero ballroom fixed, and all of a sudden, and we give tons of money into countries that don't deserve it.
I'm fine with getting foreign aid under control, but here's what I don't understand. If you're not going to give money to foreign countries, meaning that our tax money that was going to all of this shit is not happening anymore. Why are us Americans, now that the money is not going out, why are we not doing better financially? I mean, okay, are you keeping the money?
Well, that's the thing. It would seem like they would be, but also we are still giving tons of money out. We are still like giving a lot of money out for no good reason, and we need to stop doing that. Like honestly, if we just stopped all foreign aid, we could really be able to like finish that border wall, which would make me very happy.
I don't see, this is where you and I may disagree. I'm not a nationalist. I don't believe that America should say fuck everybody else and just focus on America. We're too involved in too much stuff globally to say fuck everybody and expect that to remain the way it's going to be. Once you start saying fuck everybody, they're going to start saying fuck you too. Our position in UN meetings, our position in NATO, just our position in the world. I mean, you can't go around saying fuck everybody, but expect them to all treat you like you're some kind of higher authority like they've been. I think Trump is going to ruin our relationship in many of those areas.
Well, here's the thing. We don't have to be America only, but we should absolutely be America first. I have no problem saying that whatsoever. And I'm tired of these stupid idiots that are always saying, like, you know, we owe the country, we owe the world all of our help. No, we fucking don't. No, we fucking don't. Most of these countries are fucking their own citizens up, and their own citizens should have the wherewithal to rise up and say, no more. You need to we need to fix our country, and you people in power are screwing it up.
In some cases, we do, though, Jeremy, because some of these screwed up countries are screwed up because of us. Certainly south of the border, most of the countries that are south of this border, going all the way from Mexico all the way to the tip of Brazil and Chile down there, most of those countries have some American influence. We don't went down there and took a dictator out of power or exploited their resources, or we cartel, the wealth of the cartel that's harming these countries. They're only wealthy like that because of America. Our influence is hurt a lot of those countries.
Policy. Not as a national policy, but like just as individual consumers who are breaking the law. Listen, Tim. Consequences work, and if you say, hey, we're not going to like keep giving foreign aid to countries that keep screwing over their citizens, eventually their citizens are going to say, hey, fuck this. We're not going to take this crap anymore from our leadership. And that's what should happen, okay?
Yeah, but then and at that point, when the citizens rise up, America will fly down there and try to put in a pro-American leader that just screws them over again. That's what we're doing in Venezuela right now. We're trying to put in a pro-American leader. I mean, so they're going to be fucked regardless.
I'm not a fan of that.
Huh?
We don't have to do that in order to leave their country alone. We can just leave their country alone and let them.
We're not going to do that though, because if you leave their country alone, you may end up with a leader that is favorable to Russia or China or something like that. So we're not going to leave them alone, because we know that China will see that we left them alone, and then China or Russia will try to have some influence and partnerships down there, and we got to stop that. So we're never going to leave them alone.
No, I think we can. I think we definitely can. See,
we haven't done it.
Socialist and communist groups that usually align themselves with those countries, they aren't as popular as you think they are. They're only really popular because there's a bunch of foreign governments try to prop them up. But if it wasn't for that, it's like a lot of these far left groups that hate America wouldn't even be around that much. And honestly, like, we just got to stop feeding the beast. We got to stop feeding the thing that's killing us. I think that's just a much better idea.
We talked about the ballroom earlier. got a few folks on YouTube. One of the guys said, dude, what is the issue with the ballroom? It was built and paid for by Trump personally and several high-end donors. The ballroom has no weight on any other issue. Do you believe that?
Actually, I don't know who paid for it 100%, but like all I know is that a ballroom is going to cost a lot less money than sending money over to Qatar.
I don't disagree with that whatsoever, but here's the problem I have. Just like with the Qatar jet, it started out as a gift, and then all of a sudden you hear that we're training them how to fly and purchase F-15s in Idaho. The same thing applies to this ballroom. Everybody said, well, that came from private donors. It's not coming out of you. Why the fuck would they just give us millions of dollars like that? The same thing with Qatar. Nobody on the right asked, why would they just give Trump a $400 million jet? Well, they just really like him. That makes no sense. The same party that tells the Democrats all the time there is no such thing as a free lunch. They seem to totally forget that type of mindset when it comes to Trump. If people are just literally handing Trump money hand over fist, why can't MAGA understand that there's probably something on the back end for them in that?
Well, that is a good point. Here's the thing. Ultimately, there's always going to be some kind of question about like who is influencing you on some level. But honestly, if this is as far as it goes, I don't mind it too much.
You don't know that though. That's the problem. We don't know what Trump is promised. We know that these are the same folks that own companies that don't even want to give a minimum wage increase. But for some reason, they feel emboldened to give Trump millions and millions of dollars for a ballroom. These are not nice, kind people. They're doing this for something on the back end. So when you got a president that's taking money from a bunch of people and not being transparent with you in regards to the deal he made to get the money, that ain't something you should just turn a blind eye to, is it?
No, I don't think so. But again, my whole point is this. It's such a small expense compared to the much bigger problems. Now, I'm not saying it's not an issue. I don't think that these people are just giving money because they're like, yeah, Trump, we really, really like you. Like, I don't believe that at all. But with that being said, we have a lot more expenses in this country to worry about than a ballroom.
Well, but when you say it's such a small expense, here's why I would say that's not necessarily known. Just like, okay, they gave Trump a $400 million jet, and now he's training folks from Qatar how to fly F-15s in Idaho. You don't know what may end up coming out of teaching what was known originally as a terrorist country how to fly high-end military jets. That could end up representing a terrorist attack down the line. So when you say it's only a small amount of money, yeah, but you don't know what's being done with that money. I mean, how much money was spent to train those 19 hijackers that crashed into the building on September 11th? I'm sure it wasn't that much money to do that. But look what ended up happening as a result. So small amount of money, yes, but it could turn into huge problems when you don't know what the money is going to end up costing us.
Well, again, I'm assuming most of these donors that paid for the White House updates were American. I'm assuming, at least.
We don't know. That's the problem. Is this man is taking money from people and don't worry about it. You don't have to pay for it. I'm getting the money from a donor. Okay. But you're not telling us who they are.
Yeah. I think that all government donations should be public information. That's definitely.
I don't think the White House, I don't think you should be able. There's certain areas of government where donations should not even be allowed. It's just the idea that people are going to give you money and expect something in return is so strong that you just, as a politician, you should not be able to take money in certain areas. Because you know that either they've already made some kind of deal to get someone on the back end, or you know that if they come to Trump and ask for something, he's going to be more than likely to give it to them because he's going to remember what they did for him. I mean, it's got quid pro quo written all over it.
Well, I think that's something we can agree on, that there shouldn't be any donations. But again, even if this was all government dollars, I still see it as a rather minor expense.
Yeah, it's minor but unnecessary.
Yeah, sure. Now, there's one thing I want to talk to you about before we go, because I know you have a limited amount of time. You were talking earlier to another guest about illegal immigration and the problem with like murders and rapes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's something you got to know about a lot of these crimes. When it comes to the most serious of crimes, those are the ones that get reported the most in places like California, because those are the most serious. But here's the thing. A lot of crime in California goes unreported. A lot of it. And in fact, the West Coast in general is known like for having people who just choose not to call the cops, because you want to know what judges do? They just let them go. They feel completely disempowered. Or to like and a perfect little microcosm happened like this on the East Coast. There was actually some kids who did like a flash mob robbery recently at a store in what was it called, in Florida? Yeah, Florida. Yeah. Oh no, it's a fucking intro with Michael the bitch. Just you stay there and be quiet, okay? Now, they did a flash mob type robbery in Florida, and because they did it in Sheriff Grady Judd territory, they actually got consequences. But if you look at the West Coast and the East Coast, they like a lot of these liberal places, they'll have these kids out the next day.
I'm going to say I haven't heard this, but I do.
These crimes.
I have not heard what you're talking. I see Jeremy and Mike in the comments saying that what you're saying is a lie. I don't know. I know nothing of it, so I can't say it's a lie or agree with you that it's true, because I don't know anything of it. But I'm just going to say it like this: this is what you're describing is the same thing that many on your side would defend if the police did it. Because when the police do something wrong, well, 99% of them are good. Well, the same shit you just said. Most of the crimes that the cops do go unreported because a judge is just going to let them out. And you guys defend the cops constantly. But when the immigrant does it, now we need to go after all the immigrants. The cops follow the same pattern that you just said about immigrants. They commit a lot of crimes. They get away with a lot of shit.
That's not true at all.
How do you know that? How do you really?
That's not my. No. I said that's not what my side would say, and that's definitely not something I would say. I think it doesn't matter whether you wear a badge or a little clip that says "Welcome to Walmart." I don't really care what you wear. If you commit a crime, you should face the consequences. And I actually think cops should have an extra punishment when they commit crime, because they're supposed to protect us. So no, that doesn't make any sense.
All right. Well, yeah. to you, but you do know your side of the aisle is the one that's often saying 99% of cops are good and back the blue, and I back the cops no matter what. But the cops fit the definition or the description you just gave of immigrants. They commit a whole lot of crimes, and only the real violent ones are the ones that make news, like what you said about the immigrants. Same thing about them. If a cop pulls you over and all of a sudden, $50 of your money out of your wallet is missing, most average Americans are not even going to report that, because it ain't going nowhere. The cop is going to say he didn't take it. You're going to say he did, and you're not going to get any kind of recourse out of that. You're going to be sent along your way. It's your word against his word. Most people don't report that kind of shit.
Well, body cams have heavily reversed that by a lot.
Assuming they don't turn the body cam off. Assuming you can get your hands on the body cam, because they'll tell you a lot of times this shit is up for an investigation, but body cam wasn't working. You assuming you're going to be able to get that.
Trust me, Tim. First off, you can record cops when they interact with you, and you can live stream it to a place where they don't have immediate access to.
I'm just telling you, if a cop is going to take shit from you, there's a good chance his body cam is going to be blocked by his hand turned off, or he's going to do it in a way that's not caught on body cam. I mean, they're not that fucking stupid. Go take your money right in front of his camera. So good, you can request a body cam, and it may not even show you what you need to see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Oh, by the way, Michael, you have no evidence that Florida has the most unreported crimes. Anyway,
real quick, I got to move it on. Give you the last word.
Okay. So listen. At the end of the day, we're going to need to start deporting these people at a much faster rate. We don't need illegals here. We don't have any room for them. There's no point in keeping them here. There's a fantastic video about this explained to an economist about economics and gumballs that use gumballs to demonstrate how immigration can never actually solve world poverty. But I know you got to go. So have a good one, Tim.
You too. Appreciate it. And I will follow up what he said about we got to start deporting illegals at a faster rate. maybe you could do that if you actually stuck to deporting illegals. Quit fucking with people that got TPS and asylum seekers. They're not deported. You're going to courts to catch people at the court. That's not an illegal you going after. If they focus only on illegals, people would quickly realize what they told you during the campaign is not true. It ain't that many of them. Most of the people they're going after are people that are at Home Depot, or I mean, there are some illegals in the country, but like I said, when you're going to people that and taking them out of court, that person is doing everything the legal way. An illegal immigrant ain't gonna show up to fucking court during the Trump administration. If they're illegal, they're showing it because they got a court date and they thought the process was going to be going right. The asylum seekers, all of that shit. You want to deport more illegals, go after the illegals. Not the folks that are actually trying to go through the process. Trump is talking about going after naturalized citizens and green card holders now. So he's way beyond going after illegals. Trump is just trying to kick them all out, period. The Somalis in Minnesota, for instance, most of them were born in America. Most of them are naturalized citizens. And he's talking about they got to go. Same thing with the Afghans. The Afghans are all here legally. Ain't none of them came in the country illegally. He's talking about they got to go. Same thing with the Haitians. They were all here legally. Invites. They were invited to be here to work at that plant in Springfield. Now they all got to go. Even the Cubans and Venezuelans down in Florida that voted for him. Most of them folks that were here legally, they got to go. So he's going way beyond getting rid of illegals. I think based on what I've seen with the Trump administration, if you're brown, you're an illegal immigrant. That's it. If you third generation American, you brown, you're an illegal immigrant. You gotta looking at the comments. Look up Nick Fuentes, cat boy Kemi says President Maduro. This individual has the name President Maduro. We all know who Nick Fuentes is. Who is cat boy Kemi though? I don't know who that is, but if it's in the same sentence with Nick Fuentes, I kind of am a little bit concerned about it. Yes, Mike, you were. And Mike, I am turning more and more to what you're saying. But yeah, we know who Nick Fuentes was. Nick Fuentes is the individual that showed up to Trump's home in Florida, Mar-a-Lago, with Kanye West, and Trump claims he didn't know who he is. That's a lie if I've ever heard one. I mean, you're telling me that this black dude, you let this rapper bring somebody to your home to have dinner with you, and you didn't even so much as ask, who the hell you bringing? You know I'm a former president. That makes no sense. Trump said he didn't know who Nick Fuentes was. As if the Secret Service or your advisors would not tell you, you know you got a really controversial guy coming to dinner. You sure you want to have him here? Obviously, with Trump's, with Trump's, I don't want to say power, but who he is, for instance, being a former president, he's not the only one that's going to know who's coming to his house. The Secret Service got to clear him and all of that shit. You telling me none of them knew who this dude is? None of them advised Trump, this guy might not be a real good, guest for your image. Talking about he didn't know who the guy is. That's a lie if I've ever heard one. I thought Trump was supposed to drain the swamp, not add on to it. Hump Catting 69, appreciate the support. Trump is trying to drain Democrat swamp creatures, trying to drain adversaries and enemies. That's who he's trying to drain. If you're a Republican that supports Trump and you're a swamp creature, you can hang around. That's what he's trying to drain. He's trying to drain adversaries and Democrats that may be swamp creatures. But the Republican part, no, he's not trying to drain them. Illegal is illegal. Well, illegal means you have no legal right to be in America. Somebody who's filed an asylum claim and been given a court date, that's not an illegal. Somebody that has temporary protected status and came by way that allows you to utilize temporary protected status, like the Cubans just stepping on U.S. soil, granted them TPS status. They came, that means they're here legally. Trump has kicked out a whole lot of people that are here legally. A whole lot of legal migrants have been kicked out. You see what happened to the auto plant that was down in Georgia, the Hyundai auto plant or whatever it was. I didn't mean to do that. I brought somebody up. I'm gonna have to drop you because I don't know what happened there, but I didn't mean to do that. Oh shit. I got to drop you, ma'am, whoever you are. There we go. Thank you. I didn't think that person spoke English. How the hell that happened? But anyway, yeah, the auto plant, the Hyundai auto plant that Trump, 400 and some people got deported. They weren't here illegally. So yeah, they're deporting a lot of people that are not here illegally. ICE agents should get paid more and make sure everyone, all illegals. I don't think that's their job, though. I think their job is to go after brown people. I think it goes beyond. I mean, you've given them power to profile. I don't think their job is to just go after illegals. I think to some degree their job is to go after black and brown people. Let me look in the comments here, and they're doing their job. Yes, James Harper, you're right. I must have pressed the button. Trump derangement syndrome is real, and people worship him. There is some of that. So why do you support him then if he's kicking out legal? I don't support that. I personally do not support that whatsoever. I don't support just being cruel to people. Listen, I don't support crime, but I do believe every crime should be judged accordingly. I think every crime, listen, like for instance, a shoplifter. Shoplifter should be prosecuted. But what if you find out it's a woman that just gave birth and she's shoplifting to get formula to feed her baby? You're going to judge that person the same way you would judge somebody that just broke in a Home Depot to steal a power drill to take to a pawn shop and feed a drug habit? I think every crime should be judged individually because some crimes are not as bad as they may seem. So that's what I think. And I think the illegal immigration issue should be judged like that. I don't think that, look, if you're coming over here to move narcotics or something like that, that's a whole different ball game than somebody that may be fleeing for their life or something of that nature. And the Trump administration is just like, fuck it, judge everybody the same. Be cruel to all of them. I don't favor that. Because you never know when you may be in need or in help, and you may find yourself doing something in life where you need somebody to look at you individually. So I don't favor that. Looking in the comments though, Kim from Oregon, and it's actually like they think if they make it here, they hit a home run. Nope, fuckers, get your ass out. Well, it used to be that way. Red, whatever your name is, Red. You just say it did used to be that way, that if they were able to make it here in America, they hit a home run. But you're right. The way the Trump administration is handling things, it's nope, fuckers, get your ass out. That is what's going on right now. I do believe the next administration is not going to be as harsh on immigration as Trump is, even if it's a Republican. I don't believe you're going to have any administration that is harsh on immigration as Trump is, because there's going to be so many votes lost, the Hispanic community. In fact, the Hispanic small towns and lower level elections, I don't think a Republican is going to win. If you got an area that is predominantly Hispanic, predominantly Muslim, it's going to be a long time before it's a competitive race between a Republican and a Democrat. Because what's happening right now supersedes the economy, supersedes a lot of things that normally come up during an election. These people are going to just be cruel, kicking you out, breaking up families. You really think that knocking gas back down to $2 a gallon is worth risking that for? No. So I think when it comes to lower level elections, like, mayors and shit like that, it's going to be a long time before a community that is predominantly Hispanic votes Republican again. Trump has shown them that it can go really bad. Anyway, looking in the comments before we move on, they should have enforced the law long ago and we wouldn't be here. Yeah, you would, because TPS and seeking asylum has been the law in America. Coming to America to seek asylum has been around most of the time this nation has been here. I mean, that's how a lot of groups of people have come to this country. Trump just got rid of that. So even if you were following the law, Trump has kicked out a lot of asylum seekers. Same thing with TPS. That's been around for a long time. Trump just got rid of that. So following the law would not have saved you in what Trump is doing, because he's getting rid of a lot of legal migrants as well. Everybody he's kicking out is not here illegally. That's what I keep saying. Let me go back to the box, take another caller. I don't know what I'm hitting buttons, as James said, but we'll continue on with the program. We'll go to Stick the Ruler. Good evening, Stick. Welcome. Did he bring him up? Hang on a second. Let me reset this one here. I think it just dropped out. What am I doing here?